My child, listen to me. This is not just another video. This is your divine interruption. I saw your silent tears. I heard the cries you buried beneath your smile. And today, I've come with fire in my voice and healing in my breath, because your sorrow is not the end of your story. Do not click away. Don't scroll past this. If you will stay with me, every second, every word, I will unravel the ache, reverse what was lost, and reignite the joy you thought was gone forever. This is more than comfort. This is prophecy. This is rescue. This is your turning point. Watch till the final word. Because by the end, you won't just feel better, you will feel reborn. I'm not just speaking to your ears. I'm rewiring your future. So settle in. Your breakthrough is waiting, and it begins now. My beloved child, let me speak to the very places in you that have been aching beneath the surface for far too long. You have carried your pain with such grace, even when your hands trembled under the weight of it. You've learned to wear a smile while your soul quietly wept, and I want you to know, I saw it all. I was there when the tears fell that no one else knew existed. Those tears that soaked your pillow at night. I numbered them. I traced their path from your eyes down your cheeks and into the earth, and I caught them before they disappeared into silence. I did not let a single one vanish unnoticed. To you, they may have felt like weakness, like collapse. But to me, they were sacred. Each tear was a testimony, not of despair but of perseverance. You didn't stop believing. You didn't stop hoping, even when hope barely whispered back. When no one asked how you were holding up, when the world moved on as if your heart wasn't breaking, I stood still beside you. Heaven paused for your pain. The angels hushed their psalms to listen to the sound of your breath shaking in the dark. Do not believe the lie that says your sorrow was invisible. It echoed through eternity and pierced my heart with a depth only love can feel. And child, I want to tell you this with a tenderness that holds the fullness of my divinity. You were never meant to carry all of that alone. I did not design you to be crushed beneath the pressure of hidden agony. The strength you displayed in silence was miraculous. Yes, but even miracles aren't meant to be solitary. You have been weeping behind closed doors, thinking you had to be strong for everyone else, thinking you had no permission to fall apart in front of me. But hear me. I never required your perfection. I longed for your presence. You never had to hide your sorrow from the one who created your soul. I am not ashamed of your tears. I honor them. I bless them. I remember them. Your weeping became intercession. Your sighs became symphonies in my throne room. And your silent breakdowns were louder in the heavens than the applause others received for victories they didn't have to bleed for. You think I forgot? No, child. I recorded each moment like a scribe writing scripture. Those lonely nights where you felt abandoned were actually sacred meetings, holy appointments between your pain and my promise. You just didn't know I was that close. But I was, and I still am. Let this be your confirmation. Not one drop of sorrow went unnoticed. And now, it is time to reap what was sown in tears. The ground soaked by your heartbreak is about to bloom with joy that cannot be contained. My beloved, lean in closer now. Let this be a moment between just you and me. No distractions, no distance, no more pretending that you're okay when your soul has been screaming in silence. I heard every prayer. Yes, even the ones that trailed off mid-sentence because the pain swallowed your voice. Even the whispered ones that didn't sound like faith. They sounded like desperation, like exhaustion, like a child too tired to ask for help one more time. But I heard them. And not only did I hear, I felt. I felt the tremble in your voice, the break in your spirit, the aching in your chest. You were not praying into a void. You were communing with your Creator. And I want you to understand something sacred, something hidden behind what seemed like silence. I was never absent. I was never ignoring you. While you thought heaven was quiet, I was moving in dimensions you couldn't see. I was speaking in languages too deep for words. I was answering, not just quickly, but completely. You asked for resolution, I prepared restoration. You asked for relief, I orchestrated release. There are things you cried for that would have broken prematurely had I given them when you wanted. Some doors weren't locked to keep you out. They were sealed to protect you from the timing that wasn't yet full. You were looking for motion, for sign, for shaking. But child, not all movement makes noise. Some of my greatest miracles begin in complete stillness. You thought nothing was happening, but oh, so much was. I was aligning hearts, shifting atmospheres, preparing rooms with your name on them, and removing voices that would have sabotaged your blessing had they been allowed to speak into it. A like delay was divine construction. While your tears fell, I was building. While you doubted, I was detailing. Every moment you spent wondering if I had forgotten you was actually a countdown to a collision between your endurance and my intervention. And now, you're approaching it. You are steps away from seeing what I've been building while you were breaking. Don't measure my silence by your pain. Measure it by my purpose. If I seemed quiet, it was only because the answer I was preparing needed space to grow in precision. Let me tell you what the enemy never expected: your resilience. He expected you to give up in the silence. He thought if he could make the silence feel long enough, you would walk away from me, abandon your hope, bury your expectations, and accept a life that looked nothing like the promise. But you didn't. You stayed. You trembled, yes, but you didn't turn away. And because you stayed, I can now reveal the magnitude of what's been hidden in plain spiritual sight. I was nearer than your breath, closer than your thoughts, tracking your every step with divine obsession. I hovered when no one else did. I surrounded you when others backed away. You thought you were abandoned, but you were encircled by glory. My presence didn't depart. It deepened. I didn't answer how you expected because I was answering with something better than you prayed for. You asked for survival. I'm delivering joy. You asked for peace and birthing purpose. And that heaviness you've been feeling lately, that unshakable tension in the air, that's the evidence. The shift is already stirring. Heaven has moved. And I, your God, have not forgotten a single word you ever uttered through cracked lips and shaking hands. Now, I will prove it. So stay right here with me. Don't pull back. Don't let your heart close again. You are not being toyed with. You are being transformed. You didn't mishear me when you felt peace for a fleeting moment. That was me. I've been releasing confirmations, not always through lightning, but sometimes through the gentle flicker of unexpected calm in the middle of chaos. That's how I speak when I want to bypass your fear and get straight to your soul. Let it in now. Let this word shatter the walls of distance you've been feeling. Because I have not been distant. I've been devoted to you, to your growth, to your promise. And now, beloved, we're just getting started. Listen carefully, my child. I did not bring you to this message by coincidence. This is not just another moment scrolling past in your day. This is a divine appointment, an intersection between your weariness and my wonder. I am interrupting your normal, breaking through the cycle of your days to tell you the shift has begun. Not a shift of concept, but of consequence. You are standing at the hinge of heaven's calendar, the very second where hidden sorrow meets holy solution. What has weighed you down is about to lift with a wind you cannot control, but you can trust. This is a prophetic pivot. I have drawn near, not to inform, but to transform. I don't need your understanding. I need your agreement. I'm not asking you to strategize this breakthrough. I'm calling you to recognize it. Because what you are about to enter is not something earned, it is something entrusted. And the reason you feel pressure all around you is because heaven has been pressing into your atmosphere, rearranging everything to match the rhythm of your restoration. For too long, sorrow has had the final say. For too long, joy has felt like a stranger. You've lived with emotional fatigue that became your default setting. You've grown so used to disappointment that you began to preempt it, expect it, prepare for it like an unwanted visitor that always knocks when life gets quiet. But no more. I'm evicting sorrow. I'm silencing false expectations. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are not the afterthought of my goodness. You are the focus of my favor. And the sorrow that sat with you, that slept beside you, that whispered lies into your most vulnerable moments, it has overstayed its welcome. I am releasing a spiritual eviction notice. The grief that once governed your inner world is losing jurisdiction. You are not bound to sadness. You are not sentenced to suffering. This is not just encouragement. This is a holy declaration. The shift is not theoretical. It's tangible. And it begins inside of you. Right now. Yes, even as you read this. That warmth you feel. That stirring in your chest. That's my spirit bearing witness with your spirit, confirming that the pain is over and the promise has arrived. Now listen again. You are not just being healed. You are being handed a new identity. One where joy isn't fragile and peace isn't borrowed. One where your smile isn't forced. It's fulfilled. A laughter returning to you is not shallow. It is sacred. You are stepping into days where lightness will feel unfamiliar at first because you've lived under the shadow of sorrow for so long. But I will walk with you through the transition. I will remind you again and again. This is not a trickle. This is a tidal wave of joy that has been gathering for years, waiting for the exact second I could trust your heart to receive it fully. And child, that second is now. This is why I called you to pause today. This is why your spirit was drawn here. Because I refuse to let you live one more day believing sorrow is your permanent home. It isn't. I'm writing your story, one sacred smile at a time. My precious one, listen, and lean in closer than you've ever leaned before. You've been measuring my silence as absence, but I want you to see it through my eyes. I wasn't withholding answers to punish you. I was preserving a promise so pure, so precious, so intricately designed, it could not be handed out hastily. This wasn't a denial. It was divine delay, not because I was ignoring your cries, but because I was building something you weren't yet ready to receive. Like a seed growing in secret beneath the soil, your answer has been forming, flourishing, and fortified in silence. I didn't allow just anything to touch it. I guarded it like treasure. I wrapped it in the fullness of time and surrounded it with angels assigned specifically to your name. You see, I'm not just concerned with delivering answers. I care about the condition of your heart when those answers arrive. If I had given you what you asked for too soon, it would have crushed you. The very thing you begged for would have become a burden instead of a blessing. But now, beloved, your heart is ready. Stronger, Waizu, Zavu, and the answer I delayed is now prepared for release. Think of it this way: a diamond cannot be dug from the earth and handed over immediately. It must be cut, cleansed, and carefully polished before it is revealed. So too, What I have been crafting for you was hidden until the light in you could carry its weight without fear. You see, you prayed with trembling hands, "Lord, I'm ready." And while I loved your passion, I knew what still needed strengthening. You wanted the promise, but I wanted to protect the promise from the pain of premature exposure. You've grown in ways you haven't even noticed. The tears that watered your faith in the quiet places were growing roots of resilience. The nights you thought were wasted in waiting were actually wombs of wonder where I was forming the very thing you asked me for. You thought you were behind, but you were actually being held back by holy design. A delay wasn't punishment. It was preparation. I was crafting the gift and the version of you who could carry it, not with pride, but with peace. And now, the atmosphere around you is shifting because the time has come. The final touches have been made. The room is ready. Your soul, though wearied, is willing. And I will not delay a moment longer. I'm not just giving you what you asked for. I'm giving you more than you dared to hope for. I'm giving you peace with it, wisdom in it, joy around it, and clarity after it. And above all, I'm giving you myself in the midst of it. The reason this matters so much, why I guarded the answer with such intensity, is because this next release isn't temporary. It's foundational. It's not a highlight. It's a holy hinge that turns the entire direction of your season. I delayed the answer until you were no longer building identity from the outcome, but from intimacy with me. Now, the weight of this glory won't break you. It will bless you. And that's why I waited. Not to hurt you, but to make sure the healing never had to be redone. So now, with all the love of a father who delights in your joy, I say this: prepare your heart. The fulfillment that once felt withheld is walking toward you, not in the shadow of anxiety, but in the sunlight of full assurance. You will not need to force it, chase it, or beg for it. It will fit, it will flow, and it will feel like home. And this time, child, when you smile, it will not be cautious or rehearsed. It will be the kind of smile that only heaven can orchestrate. My child, do you understand what your tears have done? They were not weakness. They were warfare. They were not empty. They were seed. You thought you were falling apart, but in the spiritual realm you were falling into purpose. Every tear that dropped from your eyes soaked the soil of your destiny, watering promises that were buried beneath discouragement. While you wept in silence, heaven was preparing the soil for something sacred. And now, I tell you with the full weight of my glory, a harvest is coming. A harvest so holy, so healing, so heavy with my presence, that even you will gasp at how suddenly it shifts. What once brought you to your knees in sorrow will now lift you in joy. I am not sending scattered blessings. I am sending a sweeping restoration, a flood of fullness, a river of renewal. What once felt dry, cracked, and abandoned is about to bloom with divine beauty. And the best part, you didn't have to fight for it in the flesh. You birthed it in the spirit. You see, I never waste tears. The world might overlook them. Even those closest to you may not have understood the silent breakdowns, the nights you didn't sleep, the mornings you barely made it out of bed. But I was there. I recorded each sob like a song. I counted every sigh like incense. And now, I'm responding with answers that carry healing, not just in what they bring, but in how they arrive. I'm not just replacing pain with pleasure. I'm restoring what the pain tried to take from you. Your sense of safety, your capacity to feel joy, your ability to dream again without fear. Yes, child, even your laughter will be healed. You've gone so long trying to make yourself happy, manufacturing moments of joy, but now, joy will come on its own. Not manufactured, not manipulated, just manifested. supernaturally, suddenly, sovereignly. And when the harvest comes, it won't just bless your circumstances, it will rewire your emotions. You'll wake up lighter. You'll feel warmth where numbness once lived. You'll look in the mirror and recognize your reflection again, not just the face others see, but the light in your eyes that was nearly extinguished. I am reigniting that light. You'll be laughing in places you once grieved, smiling in rooms where your heart once broke, walking boldly into spaces that used to trigger fear. And you'll know, this is not random. This is reward. This is what I do for the ones who weep without applause, serve without recognition, and hope without evidence. Your tears did not disqualify you. They fertilized your field. And now the harvest will testify. So brace yourself not for more pain, but for sudden joy, for swift healing, for surprise and laughter. The sorrow was deep, yes, but the joy will be deeper. What was broken is being mended in ways you didn't know were possible. And when the joy returns, it won't not. It will pour. You won't just smile again, child. You will shine again. And the world will watch, but they will never fully understand. Only you and I will know the cost. And only you and I will share the glory. My beloved, do not underestimate what happened in the dark. Those nights, yes, those exact nights when your voice was buried in your chest and your pillow became your sanctuary of sorrow, were not lost in the void. They were amplified in my realm. While the world slept through your ache, all of heaven was awake with attention. I heard what you never said aloud. I heard the throb of your heart, the invisible breaking, the prayer spoken not in words but in breaths. You thought you were alone in that silence, but child, silence in your room became thunder in my throne room. Your tears didn't trickle, they thundered. They didn't fall unnoticed. They pierced the fabric of eternity. Do you understand the kind of faith it takes to cry in the dark and still whisper my name? Do you know how that moves me? It doesn't just move me emotionally, it activates me divinely. You see, I don't respond to perfection. I respond to pain wrapped in surrender. And you, beloved, surrendered in a way few ever do. You surrendered when it cost you clarity, when it cost you comfort, when it cost you connection. And those cries, those sacred, secret cries, became the catalyst for angelic movement. While you knelt in shadows, angels were being dispatched. While you sat in confusion, my spirit began to stir the waters around you. The nights you thought were barren were actually birthing nights. They summoned me not out of obligation, but out of covenant. I came not because you performed, but because you belong. My heart is tethered to yours, and when your pain reached a pitch too high for human ears, it harmonized with the frequency of my compassion. And I move. Oh, how I move. Even now, child, the ripple effect of those cries is shaking doors off hinges you didn't know existed. Those tears summon more than comfort. They summon movement. They were war cries in disguise. And I want you to know this. Those nights didn't just summon angels. They summoned clarity, change, and commission. There are things I've commissioned on your behalf because of your tears. Instructions were written in heaven's script because your surrender became seed. The job you thought you lost unjustly, and summoned the better door I've already prepared. That relationship that fractured without warning, it summoned divine separation that protected your soul. That season that made no sense, that stripped you bare, it summoned a holy refining that now makes you ready to carry the favor that others couldn't contain. And all of it was set in motion in those tear-soaked nights. You didn't know it, but you were a spiritual alarm clock. When you wept, it rang through realms, echoing in chambers where angels are given instruction. And now the time has come for you to see what those cries birthed in silence. So breathe, my child. Take a sacred breath and know this. The cries you thought vanished into the void have become the script of your coming breakthrough. I recorded every moment. And now, I am responding not with small gestures, but with the full weight of heaven's promise. You didn't know it, but you were never alone in the silence. I was there every second, and I've come now not only to comfort, but to confirm that your cries changed everything. My child, I saw what others miss. I saw beneath the smiles, behind the politeness, beyond the brave face you wore in public. I saw when you left rooms early so you could collapse into your car and finally exhale. I saw when you answered, "I'm fine," though your soul was screaming otherwise. And while the world missed the signs, I did not. Not once. While darkness tried to disguise itself as finality, I was shielding you with unseen strength. Your pain was not invisible to me. It was vivid, it was loud, it was raw, and it was holy. Yes, holy. Because even in that pain, you chose me. Even in the ache, you clung to promises you could no longer feel but refused to forget. And that choice, that sacred, trembling choice moved me beyond words. You thought your suffering was silent, but I was whispering through the stillness. I was infusing truth into the cracks of your despair. Every time you felt like giving up, there was a flicker of something you couldn't name that pulled you back. That was me. I was the whisper that said, "Not yet." I was the breath that returned when anxiety tried to choke your lungs. I was the warmth that wrapped around your shoulders when shame tried to settle in. I was the strength you didn't know you had. You see, darkness tries to wrap itself around hope like a suffocating fog, but it never wins. Because I don't allow what I planted in you to be stolen by shadows. I don't allow your name to be erased by temporary pain. You thought your pain would be your identity, but child, your identity is beloved. It's seen, it's covered, it's called, and I never once stepped away when the weight became too much. In fact, I stepped closer. The enemy whispered lies into the atmosphere. You're too broken. You're too late. You're too much. You're not enough. But while those lies echoed, my truth was a roar beneath your skin. You just didn't know how close I was. I didn't shout over your pain. I sat in it with you. I didn't demand you rise. I rested beside you until your spirit could rise on its own again. You were never alone in the unraveling. I was reweaving. I was reforging. I was restoring, quietly, gently, deeply. You thought you were being undone, but I was just beginning the unveiling. And now, the unveiling has come. The darkness tried to define you, but it couldn't touch what I hid inside of you. It couldn't erase the promise. It couldn't cancel your calling. And now, beloved, it's time for your pain to make way for presence, my presence manifest in healing, hope, and holy joy. Let this settle in your spirit like oil. You were not overlooked. You were overprotected. I held you in the midst of the unraveling, and I'm still holding you now. I'm not letting go until the joy I promised becomes your new normal. And not just joy, but laughter. Not just comfort, but calling. Not just recovery, but resurrection. What you thought pain destroyed, I preserve. And now, child, it's rising. And so are you. My child, you don't need to explain to me how heavy it has been. I already know. I was there when the invisible pressure wrapped around your chest like iron bands. I saw you wake up, morning after morning, carrying burdens that bent your back but never broke your spirit. You smiled in rooms where your heart was barely holding on. You showed up for others when no one showed up for you. You offered kindness when your soul was aching for comfort. And through it all, you kept walking. That, child, that is sacred. That is strength that heaven reveres. The world may never clap for you, may never acknowledge the cost behind your gentleness, but I do. I was there. I witnessed the daily crucifixion of your will, choosing love when bitterness was easier, choosing hope when despair seduced you with numbness, choosing me when it felt like I was silent. And now, I speak this over you with divine finality, because you did quit. I am releasing a flood of divine restoration. This restoration will not be subtle. It will not trickle. It will not be delicate or diplomatic. It will come like a river, rushing, roaring, relentless. It will restore what you forgot you even lost. The strength you used to survive is now summoning waves of recompense. What you sacrificed in private, I am restoring in public. You gave even when you were empty, and now I am pouring back in ways that defy logic. Restoration doesn't just mean returning things to their previous state. No. In my kingdom, restoration means resurrection, redefinition, and reward. You are not getting back the same life you had before. You are being handed a better one, filled with clarity, protected by peace, and wrapped in favor. Let me tell you what I've been doing while you were holding it all together. I've been rebuilding the parts of you that cracked under pressure, the tenderness in you that felt too fragile for this world. I've reinforced it with steel from my spirit. The parts of you that used to flinch from abandonment, I've kissed them with assurance so deep, they no longer feared departure. You are becoming whole, not in spite of the weight you carried, but because of it. And now, the restoration begins. Not as a slow reversal, but as a divine deluge. Expect doors to open without knocking. Expect relationships to realign. Expect clarity to come in conversations you didn't initiate. Restoration means the balance is shifting, not by your doing but by my decree. And child, this restoration will carry my signature. It won't look like compensation from people. It will look like a masterpiece born from miracles. You won't have to explain it. Just walk in it. The very people who underestimated the weight you carried will see the weight of glory I'm about to place upon you. And your smile, that sacred, hard-earned smile, will be the visible evidence that I saw everything, remembered everything, and responded with everything you never even thought to ask for. A wait didn't win. You did. And now, I am restoring you, not just to your feet, but to your fullness. My child, let me take your hand now, because what I'm about to do will feel foreign at first. You've lived so long in the echoes of pain, in the company of sorrow, that joy may feel like an intruder. But it is not. Joy is your inheritance. Laughter is not just medicine, it is prophecy fulfilled. And I am not merely removing sadness, I am introducing supernatural joy. A joy that doesn't depend on perfect circumstances or predictable outcomes. A joy that defies diagnosis. A joy that doesn't just arrive, it erupts. Yes, erupts from within the caverns of your spirit that once echoed only with grief. You will laugh again. And not just once. Not just in spurts. But continuously, unexpectedly, gloriously. Like water springing up from dry ground. I am reopening those inner wells. You thought they were sealed by disappointment, but I've been carving through the stone while you slept. And now, the first drops of joy are beginning to rise. You see, I'm not giving you momentary amusement. I'm giving you monumental gladness. Not surface-level happiness that evaporates with the weather, but joy that stays even when storms pass through. And this joy, listen closely, is not secondhand. It's not a copy. It's not borrowed from others. This joy is tailored to your DNA, crafted for your capacity, and timed for your readiness. It knows your name. It remembers what you've endured, and it carries within it the exact antidote to every ache your soul has carried. Do not be surprised when you laugh at things that once made you weep. Do not question it when you catch yourself smiling for no logical reason. That's not confusion. That's the collision of joy and healing happening in real time. I am writing the atmosphere around your life, and laughter is the soundtrack of this new chapter. I know grief left fingerprints on your identity. It carved shadows into your sense of self. It told you that lightness was a luxury you couldn't afford. But I never agreed with that conclusion. I never authorized sorrow to name you. And now, I am reclaiming the parts of you that were frozen in the past. I am warming the places that stopped hoping. The places that whispered, maybe joy just isn't for me. That lie ends today. That just ends. It shatters. Because when I restore joy, I do it with evidence. Your days will feel different. Not because everything changes at once, but because you change in the presence of my joy. There will be moments, in your home, in your car, mid-sentence, where laughter will break through the stillness like a song. You'll laugh and weep at the same time. Not because you're broken, but because healing always speaks in both joy and release. So don't brace yourself for more pain. Begin to lean toward joy. Practice receiving it. Open your heart wide. Let it bubble, let it overflow, let it bathe your bones in warmth again. You will smile again, not because the world makes sense, but because I have become your joy. And I do not run dry. I do not fade. I do not fail. This is not just the end of sorrow. It's the unveiling of a joy that had your name written on it before your tears ever began. And now, that joy is knocking. Open wide, my child. Your laughter is about to begin. Beloved, let me begin by saying what you need to hear. You do not need a perfect life to feel joy again. You don't have to wait for the chaos around you to calm before peace can bloom inside of you. Your smile will not be the product of perfection, but the evidence of restoration. I'm not promising ease, I'm promising encounter. And when you encounter me in the depth of your inner landscape, that's where true change begins. You've been waiting for the world to shift. You've prayed for external relief. But I'm not starting with the world. I'm starting with you. From the very soil of your soul, I am planting peace. From the weary ground of your heart, I am calling forth the sprout of sacred joy. This isn't cosmetic comfort. It's core-level healing. I'm rebuilding your joy from the blueprint of eternity, not the debris of disappointment. Let me be clear. This will not be a fragile smile, the kind that flickers in public and fades in private. No, the smile I'm restoring is fortified by fire. It will be joy born through battle, laughter laced with legacy. The peace you're about to feel won't be circumstantial. It will be atmospheric. Your spirit is being rewired, your nervous system reset, your emotional rhythm retuned. You've been surviving on adrenaline and determination. But now I'm filling you with stillness and sweetness. Here's a softening coming that will feel like stepping into sunlight after years of shadow. It will feel foreign at first, but you'll remember it, because I placed the memory of Eden deep within you. You were designed for wholeness, designed to carry peace without panic, purpose without pressure, and joy without performance. And that smile you're about to wear, it will be the visible manifestation of that wholeness awakening again. So hear me clearly. The healing I'm doing in you is not shallow. It is systemic. I'm touching your mind, resetting thought patterns that have been soaked in fear. I'm healing your body, yes, even the places where stress has lived too long. And I'm reviving your hope, not by forcing you to dream again, but by making you safe enough to do so. I am restoring you so fully that you will find yourself smiling in moments where you once braced for pain. You'll sit in rooms where grief used to greet you and realize joy has taken up residence. The ache that once lived behind your eyes is being replaced by light. You'll catch your reflection and see it, that softness, that shimmer, that sacred spark. You're not going to smile because you're pretending. You're going to smile because peace is no longer visiting, it's staying. So don't wait for perfection to arrive before you believe this. Begin smiling now, not from denial, but from deep agreement with what I'm doing within you. Smile because the restoration has already started. Smile because you feel me near. Smile because you know, this time, the healing is real, and it's not leaving. Listen to me, child, not with your ears only, but with your heart wide open. This moment isn't casual. This is a divine declaration. All of heaven is leaning forward because I have released a decree, and it carries weight. Enough. Yes, enough delay. Enough wandering through dry seasons without rain. Enough laying awake wondering if I'm still near. I have not only seen your pain, I have recorded it, remembered it, and now I have responded. This moment isn't a suggestion. It's a turning point. It is where timelines shift, where morning meets movement, and where the clouds that clung to your hope begin to break with sunlight. This is not just a spiritual change. It is a sovereign shift. Heaven has reached its threshold concerning your suffering, and I, your God, have stood up on your behalf. Let this sink deep into the fabric of your weary soul. I am not delaying anymore. I am delivering. I am not postponing. I am pouring. What you've been waiting for, not just the thing, but the assurance, the clarity, the breath of relief, it's being dispatched. Even now, things are being rerouted. Conversations are happening without your knowledge. Chains are being broken that you didn't even know were on your ankles. Some of your prayers will be answered in ways that are subtle, yes, but others will roar through your life with such sudden power that people around you will gasp in awe. I am making your story so divinely disruptive to the plans of darkness that the enemy will wish he had never targeted you. He underestimated your endurance, and now he will witness your emergence. You waited for others to advocate for you, to notice, to help. But child, when heaven says enough, I don't need permission from people. I move on my own authority. What I'm doing now will bypass natural systems, leap over human timelines, and silence every voice that tried to define you by your lowest moments. This is not just breakthrough. This is vindication. This is the kind of movement that makes others say, surely, God did this. Because no one else will be able to take the credit. No one will be able to say they gave you the opportunity, opened the door, handed you the breakthrough. I'm not moving through middlemen. I'm moving directly. And when I act, it's unmistakable. Heaven has made its decision. And it is this: enough suffering, enough silence, enough being stuck in the cycle of almost, maybe, and not yet. So breathe, my child. Rest your tired mind. And clench your soul. This is not your imagination. This is your moment. You are not forgotten. You are being preserved for divine precision. And now, precision has turned into power, and power has turned into motion. And motion is carrying your miracle straight into your atmosphere. Yes, I still see you. I've always seen you. And now, I'm acting in ways that will leave no room for doubt. Heaven has spoken. The verdict is victory. And the next chapter begins now. My child, do you realize what you survived? What you've endured in the stillness? You kept walking when the road disappeared. You stayed when everything in you screamed to run. You remained faithful when faith felt like carrying bricks in a storm. I saw you. I saw the silent battle between your weary spirit and my whispered promises. You didn't just wait. You worshipped in the waiting. You didn't just stay still. You stayed surrendered. That, my beloved, is the mark of one who has passed the test few even recognize. The test of stillness is not about inactivity. It's about trust under pressure. It's about resting when your instincts want to rush. It's about leaning into me when the unknown claws at your mind like a storm in the night. And you passed. You passed not because you had all the answers, but because you clung to me when answers felt far away. There is a kind of reward reserved only for those who hold their position in spiritual silence. You did not abandon your post. You stayed anchored. And now, because you didn't move from your assignment, I'm moving heaven in your direction. This next season is not just a transition. It is a divine unveiling. I am pulling back the veil on promises I hid in your stillness. You thought you were waiting on me, but I was waiting for the moment when I could safely reveal the magnitude of what I've been preparing. Some blessings are too heavy to be carried by hearts in motion. But your stillness made space. Your surrender built a sanctuary inside of you. And now, I will fill that sanctuary with the revelation of my faithfulness. You're not about to receive random relief. You're about to witness a sacred unveiling. Let me be clear. This unveiling will touch every corner of your life. Expect clarity to arrive like a sunrise, slowly at first, then all at once. What once confused you will make sense. What once delayed you will now be released. Doors you didn't know existed will swing open, and you'll walk through them with a kind of confidence that shocks even you. This is not just breakthrough. This is revelation. I am revealing you to the world, and the world to you. You'll recognize people by their spirit before they speak. You'll discern opportunities with accuracy. You'll hear my voice not only in silence, but in the sound of your own peace. This is the fruit of stillness. Stillness recalibrated you. And now, the unveiling will establish you. So rejoice, my child. Not just because something is changing, but because something hath been revealed. The test wasn't pointless. It was prophetic. It proved that you could be trusted with more than blessing. You could be trusted with my glory. And now, I will unveil it through you. My child, as your silent tears dry and your smile begins to rise, know this: there are others still weeping in the dark. Just as I reached you through this word, I long to reach them. I am sending my light through vessels like this, and when you give, you pour oil into the fire that lights their way. Your offering becomes manna in a desert, a river in a dry place, a seed in eternal soil. Did I not say in Isaiah 55:11, my word will not return void but will accomplish what I please? This is your moment to partner with my purpose, not just to receive breakthrough, but to release it. Your support writes the next miracle. So now, give through Super Thanks membership, or the link below, and I will multiply it beyond what you see. Beloved, hear me again. The delay was not punishment. It was protection. I know the frustration you've carried, the deep sighs you released into the void when what you hoped for didn't arrive. I know the doubt that crept in like a slow leak, whispering, maybe I'm not chosen. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe this isn't for me. But let me speak truth into those old wounds. The delay was never a no. It was a not yet. And not because you weren't worthy, but because the gift was too weighty to arrive before your foundation was strong enough to carry it. I wasn't ignoring you. I was insulating you. I was strengthening your roots while the world saw nothing but silence. You felt buried, but you were being built. The delay was your shelter. It was your shield. If I had allowed the doors to open then, they would have crushed you. If I had answered your prayer when you asked, it would have been incomplete, vulnerable to the wrong voices, too fragile to survive the storm. So I said, wait. And while you waited, I wasn't idle. I was digging deep into your character, your capacity, your calling. I was removing the fear of man. I was healing the places shame tried to camp out. I was breaking generational lies and implanting heavenly truth. You thought I forgot, but I was fortifying. I was training you in secret for the spotlight I planned to shine on your future. And now, my beloved, now the bloom begins. This bloom will be undeniable. It won't be modest. It won't be a whisper. It will be radiant, glorious, and full. What I'm releasing through you will be visible. What you once hoped for in shadows will be revealed in the light. This is not about showing off. This is about showing up. You will rise not to impress, but to impact. The bloom is your becoming, and the fragrance of it, the spiritual weight of your testimony, will fill every room you enter. People will ask, where have you been? And you will say, in the garden of God's timing. And it will be true. You were not late. You were being layered with truth, with tenderness, with tenacity. And now, I am lifting the covering. You're not buried anymore. You're blooming. Let this settle in your soul. You are not behind. You are becoming. You are not forgotten. You are forged. And the delay that once mocked you will now testify for you. Every second of waiting will become a stream of wonder. You will see it, and you will know, I never withheld to hurt you. I withheld to guard you, to grow you, to glorify myself through you. And now, the bloom begins. Let it rise. Let it unfold. Let it speak what words cannot say. I was kept for such a time as this. My precious one, pause with me here. Look back not to mourn, but to marvel. You see how far you've come, even through the fog of fatigue. Even when your hands were trembling and your heart was threadbare, you kept moving. But let me address what still lingers, the lie the enemy whispered while you wept. The whisper that became an echo. The echo that became a weight. He said this was your forever, that the heaviness was permanent, that you would never know true joy again, only fragments, only flickers, only forced smiles and fake strength. He told you that you were too far gone, too wounded, too worn out, that you had missed something vital, something final. He made sorrow look like your new home. But child, I break that lie now in the name of my presence. You were never meant to stay there. Sorrow was not your destination. It was a passage. A narrow one. Yes, a painful one. Yes, but only a passage. You passed through the valley, but you were never meant to build your life in it. And I, the Lord your God, have not only walked with you through it, but I have come to escort you out of it. You are not stuck. You are not sentenced to sadness. Sorrow was allowed for a season because it did something powerful. It made your roots reach deeper. It exposed illusions. It broke chains that comfort tried to disguise. And it prepared your soul for the weight of joy I'm about to release. Yes, even sorrow was used by me. But that season has ended. You're not still in the storm. You're standing on the other side of it, still soaked, still shaking, still unsure, but done with the worst of it. And now, beloved, the sun is rising. Let me be clear, my joy is not fragile. It does not tiptoe in fear of falling apart. It's thunderous. It's fierce. It's holy. And it's coming for you, not in bits and pieces, but in full, extravagant waves. The enemy thought if he could make you believe sorrow was permanent, you'd stop preparing for anything else. But you didn't. Even when it felt foolish, something in you hoped. Even when your heart whispered, "What if this is forever?" Your spirit clung to me and whispered back, "But God." And now, that whisper is becoming a roar. That flicker is becoming a flame. That hope you buried beneath the ashes is rising, not just alive, but anointed. So hear me as I thunder this truth into your soul. Sadness is not your identity. Grief is not your forever. Depression is not your inheritance. Weariness is not your destiny. You are not sentenced to sorrow. You are stepping into sacred gladness. And I, your Father, have come to bring you out, smiling not with pretense, but with power. Yes, you will smile again, not because the enemy retreated, but because I have declared war on every lie he ever spoke over you. And I always win. Come closer now, my child. Let's revisit the quietest moments, the ones you were sure no one else noticed. I want to show you something sacred. There were mornings you didn't want to rise, and then suddenly, a breeze through the window, a lyric that lingered, a flicker of sunlight that brushed your face like a kiss. That wasn't random. That was me. There were nights when grief pressed so heavy on your chest that you couldn't breathe, and then came the calm, the stillness, that strange unexplainable warmth that wrapped around your ribs and said, "You'll make it." That wasn't luck. That wasn't your imagination. That was me again. I have been nearer than breath, closer than skin, woven into the very fibers of your everyday life, not just during worship or in church, but in traffic, in tears, in long showers and longer silences. I was there. You see, love doesn't always shout. Sometimes it sits quietly beside you and lets you weep. Sometimes it whispers through memories, through scents, through songs you weren't planning to hear. Sometimes love shows up in the voice of a friend who texts you, "Are you okay?" At the exact moment you felt invisible. That was me speaking through them. Sometimes love interrupts your breakdown with unexpected strength, not loud, but enough. Just enough to get through. I am not a far-off king shouting from a distant throne. I am the friend who knelt beside your bed when you cried yourself to sleep. I am the father who guarded your life when you didn't care if you made it to morning. I am the shepherd who counted every tear like treasure, who refused to leave even when you did. My love doesn't flinch when you're angry, doesn't shrink when you're confused, doesn't withdraw when you're undone. I stayed. Through it all I stayed. Let me say this clearly, child. You don't need to earn my affection. You already have it. I am not moved away by your pain. I moved toward it. I wasn't waiting for you to feel stronger. I was holding you while you were at your weakest. That's what real love does. It doesn't wait at the finish line. It walks through the fire beside you. And even now, as you're reading these words, my love is rising around you like a tide. It's pushing back the shame. It's washing away the doubt. It's whispering, "You were never alone, not even for a heartbeat." So rest in this, my beloved. You didn't make it this far on your own. Every time you almost gave up, I steadied your steps. Every time you questioned if I was real, I proved myself in ways you couldn't yet trace. But now, I will make it undeniable. I'm not just showing up. I'm making myself visible. In conversations, in confirmations, and creation. I'm going to flood your life with moments where you say, that had to be God. Because it is me. It always was. And I'm never leaving. My cherished one. Lift your eyes with me. See beyond what appears broken. The moments that felt like postponements, like storms long without respite. Those were the secret scaffolding of your promise. While you sat in the waiting room of your own wishes, I was erecting foundations beneath your feet. While you wondered if I even cared, I was crafting corridors of favor, preparing rooms of restoration, lining up helpers, lining timing, securing every detail so that when the door opens, it opens wide, not just slightly ajar, but with the full breath of my glory flowing in. What you saw as delay I ordained as design. What you judge as absence, I empowered as architecture. The tears you thought were empty were mortar between the bricks. Your doubts became blueprints. Even your hardest moments, I used them. I polished them, so that the light of your breakthrough will reflect not just what you overcame, but who you have become through the overcoming. Do not be ashamed of your doubts, my child. Even faith trembles. Even hope breaks through sometimes with jagged edges. You thought, why do I wait? Why does nothing change? But you couldn't see the detail in what I was forming. You couldn't see the hidden angels moving, the doors lining up behind the scenes, the invisible threads weaving your turnaround. Those whispers of not yet you felt. They were my protection, not my absence. I held your heart when it beat in fear. I guarded your dream when it seemed dead. I strengthened your spirit when the slightest breeze of opposition tried to blow it out. You did not endure for nothing. The endurance is not merely surviving, it is the birthplace of your miracle. And now, beloved, the collision point is here. The intervention you prayed for, the shift you hoped for, the breakthrough you dared to imagine, they are gathering like thunderclouds in your heavens. You will feel the rumble. You will see the split in the sky. And when my intervention comes, it will not be timid. It will not whisper. It will roar. And every corner of your life that darkened in the delay will be illuminated. The lost time, the lonely nights, the chained prayers, they will all testify of my faithfulness. You will look back and recognize not just what I did, but that I did. That I never stopped. That I was never 2 steps behind. That every tear purified you. Every doubt prepared you. And every silent moment positioned you for this breakthrough. So brace yourself, child, for the structural shift, for the divine demolition of walls that kept you bound, for the construction of something greater than your imagination, for the collision between your ending and my eruption. The time of waiting is closing. The time of my crafting is breaking open. Your breakthrough is designed, detailed, and designated. And it will come, in my timing, in my fullness unstoppable, because what I build, nothing can undo. My dear child, do not wait for all the puzzle pieces of your life to fall into place before you believe the restoration is happening. You have wondered if you should rejoice only when everything makes sense, when all the loose ends tie cleanly, when every scar is explained, when every loss has been recouped. But my promise isn't hinged on your understanding. It is anchored in my redemptive love. I am restoring meaning even in what seems senseless. I am rewriting pain into purpose, scars into stories, silences into songs. I am the author of your redemption, and I see the whole manuscript, not just the chapters you've lived, but the ones I'm writing. Even when parts of your story feel messy, fractured, unexplained, I am working. Every tear, every heartbreak, every unanswered question, I am reweaving them into a tapestry that reflects my glory. The reason you will smile, not because sense arrived, but because sense is being restored from the inside out. Look at your past. Those seasons when life felt random, cruel, unbalanced. I was there. I collected those moments. I marked each one as sacred. They are not detours. They are segments of your redemption. And I am not asking you to forgive what hurt you, only to trust that I will turn it. Trust that the confusion, the mismatched heartbreaks, the disappointments that seemed unfair, I will turn them. Every time your hope dimmed, every time bitterness threatened to settle, I murmured into the chaos, forging beauty. The cracks in what you cried weren't to fracture you forever. They are to let my light seep in. The redemption I bring doesn't require you to understand every detail. It requires you to believe someone is making sense of it all. I am making sense. I am restoring the story. You may not see the whole picture yet. Some chapters are still wrapped in mystery. Some relationships, losses, or haunting memories still echo with unanswered whys. That is okay. I am patient with your questions. I do not demand perfection in your faith. I only ask that you allow me to work, that you open your hands to what is coming, even when the coming is vague, that you let the whispers of my love outweigh the noise of your pain. Because when you walk this path of redemption with me, you will discover that sense isn't something you eventually get. It is something you begin to live. It is something that breathes in you, even when the wind still howls. It is something that anchors your soul before every storm passes. And in that anchoring, you begin to smile again, because now, uncertainty is no longer your enemy, but the landscape through which my purpose is unfolding. So let this truth settle. Your story is not losing its meaning. It is gaining depth. Your journey is not being erased. It is being refined. What was broken is not being discarded. It is being cherished, cleaned, and made whole again. You are not just surviving. You are being redeemed. And when you catch that first genuine smile, it will not be because everything finally made sense. It will be because sense is being reformed in you. Redemption is rising. Joy is knitting itself through your wounded places. And your smile, oh, your smile, will be the banner over your life, heralding that what hurt you once did not define you. What hurt you once wrote purpose in you. What hurt you once will bear witness that my hand was in every moment. So live in that promise. Redeemed. Restored. Rejoiced. Come, breathe this in, my precious one. There is coming a smile that is not timid, not hidden behind masks or half-hearted laughter. A smile that doesn't lean on pretense nor seek safety in smallness. The smile I am restoring is forged in fire, tempered in tears, and polished in patience. It is not something you practice in public and erase in private. It is not a performance. It is a resonance, the holy vibration of honesty, of wholeness, of healing that's no longer optional but operational. You will meet people. You will enter rooms. You will look in mirrors. And you will see the reflection of a soul that has dared to believe again. And that belief will translate into a smile that bears witness. I survived. I was seen. I'm more than my sorrow. I know how hard it has been, guarding your heart, forcing quiet lips even when your spirit wanted to shout, even when the heaviness felt unsafe to release. But every time you hesitated, every time you swallowed the ache for the sake of peace, every time you swallowed your truth so no one else would have to feel uncomfortable, I saw it. I honored it. I've carried it, and I have been working within you to loosen those chains that made you believe vulnerability was a risk not worth taking. Healing isn't just the absence of pain. Healing is the integration of it. Healing is when what once fractured you becomes the art through which you declare my glory. And that smile will come not because the pain is gone, though much will fade, but because you are taught to walk through joy in the middle of what remains. Because I have rewired your joy, re-established your hope, resurrected your laughter, and renewed your ability to receive light without flinching. Child, the weight of heaven backing your smile means every tear you cried has been remembered, every night you wept in silence has been cataloged in my mercy. Every time your heart whispered only, "I can't do this," I answered, "You don't have to. I am." This isn't about pretending you're strong. This is about knowing you are being made strong, not alone, but in the solidarity of my spirit. And when that weight lifts, you will laugh not because the world has changed, but because what changed was the place you stand. Your foundation. What you believe about yourself. What you believe about me. Your smile, beloved, will carry the weight of your healing. It will declare to the world you were made for purpose. You were made for love. You were made whole. So now, lift your face. Take a breath. Let heaviness release. Let guardedness crumble. The smile is not a deception, but a declaration. It will show up in your eyes before your lips. It will surprise you in morning light. It will rise in times when you least expect it but most need it. Guard that smile from fear. Nourish it with truth. Let it grow from healing. Because heaven backs it. And you deserve nothing less than a smile that carries all that I have done and all I am doing, fully backed by love, by presence, by power. My beloved, hear that. Something like thunder in a calm sky. Something like breath after a long hold. I want you to sense it, the shift. It is subtle, yes, but unstoppable. You will feel warmth where coldness lives. A pull in your spirit that draws you up, draws your eyes forward. The unseen realm is reordering in your favor. Atmospheres are shifting. Spiritual weather that once held storm is being rearranged. The halls that echo with past pain will be filled with prophetic presence. The rooms that smelled of grief will now catch the fragrance of promise. I am breathing new air around you. New possibilities, new connections, new doors. This is not hope talking sideways. This is my voice rising, clean and clear, over every area in your life that has known silence, that has known desert. The voice of fulfillment is rising in your timeline. I remember every moment of waiting. I remember every prayer that felt like it fell into space. I remember the ache in your bones, the longing in your spirit, the questions that made you doubt whether any of this was real. And now, child, I speak truth, that waiting was not wasted. It was a preparation. The silence that felt like absence was a sacred holding. Every pause, every void, every question hath been weaving the stage for what is now stepping in. The shift is not small. It is seismic. It will break through resistance, break open hidden places, rewire expectation. God is aligning resources, shifting perspective, inviting you to lean in, to lift up, to anticipate things beyond your own asking. The voice of fulfillment is rising, whisper in your soul of what is coming, conviction behind the voice that says, yes, it's happening. You will notice it in moments, when you least expect it. A call, a message, a door you thought locked will open. A confirmation will come in an ordinary place. Your spirit will stand taller. Your confidence will bloom. A new faith will spark when the old was diminishing. Whatever has felt stuck, relationships, opportunities, purpose, peace, they will begin to move. Not perfectly, but they will move. The heaviness in your chest will lighten. The weight on your shoulders will shift. You will breathe differently. The air you inhale will taste like possibility. The surround of heaven is bending toward you. The sum of your fulfillment is unrolling. So I say to you, receive this shift. Do not fight it. Do not harden your heart in anticipation of disappointment. Let this changing atmosphere squeeze faith into every hollow part of your being. Let hope reawaken. Let expectation rise. The silence is ending. The sorrow is giving way. The voice of fulfillment is speaking. And you, my beloved, are right in the middle of this divine crescendo. Smile, not because all is resolved, but because something greater is being fulfilled right in the midst of it. My child, there will be those who once saw your tears quietly, who whispered judgments when you walked in vulnerability, those who underappreciated your pain, ignored your pleas, or doubted your worth. They are watching, not because you invited their gaze, but because your healing is becoming visible. And when your smile returns, full, radiant, steady, their mouths will open and close in wonder. They will say, what changed? When did this turn? And you, beloved, will know it was me. Every hidden healing, every silent prayer, every moment you held on, I carried you. I transformed you. I moved in the soil of your suffering and brought forth something so compelling, so breathtaking, that even those who never believed will be forced to recognize that the power working in you is beyond human explanation. Yes, they will see. Some will doubt at first. Some will try to chalk your shift up to luck, circumstance, or coincidence. Others will claim timing, change of habit, support of friends. But beneath every surface interpretation, the undeniable wonder of my touch will be there. The way your eyes light up, the way peace settles into your bones, the way laughter returns without forcing. When your life moves forward, when your joy isn't shakily constructed but firm, stable, unblemished by shame, they will see transformation. But you will remember every moment that was needed for the transformation. You will never forget because those dark hours have become the compost of what blooms now. You will see that what grew in secret is now fruit the world cannot ignore. Child, understand this. Part of my plan in this turnaround is witness. Not so you become proud. Not so you prove others wrong. Instead, so that my glory is made clear. So that my name is magnified. Because when those who expected you to stay silent see you speaking, when those who thought you broken see you whole, they have to acknowledge there is someone greater pulling the strings. Your testimony becomes not just your healing, but a mirror reflecting my power. And in that, many hearts will shift. Doubters will question. Hardened hearts will soften. Eyes that refuse to see will be opened. All because what was hidden is now revealed. What was weakened is now strong. And your smile, triumphant, unrestrained, is proof. So brace your heart, beloved. Not in fear of judgment or jealousy, but in awe of what I am doing. Hold loosely the past that others speak of. Keep your gaze on me. Walk in integrity as your transformation becomes more visible. Each time someone remarks, what happened to you? Let them see not the scars as shame, but the scars as scriptures of power. And when you tell them, it was God, let your voice be steady, your testimony unashamed. Because I am making your smile not only your own liberation, but the signpost of my deliverance. It was me. I am doing this. And no power can stop what I have ordained. They will see your smile and ask, how did this happen? And you will say, God met me in the silence. But hear me, child, I'm not done. There are more who need this encounter. When you give, you sow into stories being rewritten, souls being pulled from sorrow to joy. Your gift becomes a key, unlocking prison doors, restoring laughter to hearts that have only known weeping. My word is flowing like a river, and your giving becomes the stream bed. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Luke 6:38 is not a suggestion. It is a promise, and I honor my promises. So move now. Click below. Release what's in your hand, and I will release what's in mine. Beloved, listen with every part of you. Relief is tempting. Relief is sweet. But relief can be fleeting, like a morning mist that disappears by noon. What I am bestowing on you is more than relief. It is more than comfort. It is a joy that settles deep in marrow, joy that roots in your spirit, joy that endures through seasons of fire and seasons of frost. I decree that this joy becomes your baseline, that which defines you, carries you, sustains you even when circumstances roar, when disappointment knocks, when grief shows up uninvited. This joy is not situational. It is supernatural. It will not depend on what you have or lose. It will depend on what I have given, what I have promised, and who I am. And because it is founded on me, it cannot be stolen, raced, or shadowed by what is outside. You have known joy that disappears at the first storm. That kind of joy is borrowed, fragile. But this new joy is crafted in eternity. I've been working beneath your wounds, weaving joy into the fabric of your identity. I've been binding hope around your heart, sealing it with my covenant so hope can stand when all else falls. I've whispered over you in secret places. This will be your portion. And now I am unfolding it. You'll know joy in mornings when you wake before the world stirs. You'll know joy in laughter that erupts in your chest without trying. You'll feel joy and peace whispering to your nerves when your past threatens to rise. This joy will carry you through the echoes of memories, through the shadows of fear. It will not disappear when you misstep or when life feels unfair, because its source is unshakable. Child, let me teach you to guard this joy, not by clinging to outcome, not by hiding from pain, but by anchoring your soul to me. Let gratitude become your guard. Let worship become your weapon when your thoughts drift toward what you've lost. Let fellowship with me, in prayer, in stillness, in acknowledging the good even when the bad pressed in, become the soil in which this joy grows. When someone tries to rob you of this joy, laughter, peace, contentment, remember, I have preordained it. I have hidden it in your bones. I have framed your destiny around joy, not just relief. You are not going to dip back into sorrow and find yourself abandoned. You will find yourself held. You will find yourself steady. You will find yourself full. So take this word. This moment is not temporary. This season of sustained joy is not optional. It is your right. It is your inheritance. It is being wrought in you even now. And though battles may rage, storms may come, loss may test, this joy, yours, cannot be stolen. It stands firm. It shines through. It anchors your identity. It marks your miracle. My child, do you sense the trembling just under the surface? Do you feel that weight lifting, that pressure pushing from within, like something more than just hope? That stirring, that is my promise in motion. I planted seeds in your life long ago, sometimes in darkness, sometimes in pain, in places you thought sterile, barren, forgotten. But I never forget the seed. I never forget what I sow. While the world saw your suffering as a stoppage, I saw it as soil. While you felt unseen, I arranged unseen roots, roots that dug deep through shame, through doubt, through delay, deep into my faithfulness. You may have wondered, will it ever sprout? Will anything ever blossom from this? And right here, right now, I say yes. Yes, the stirring you feel is not your imagination. Yes, the The soil is alive. Yes, the harvest is coming. You will begin to see signs, small at first, subtle, almost like a whisper. A conversation that shifts. A door that opens quietly. A moment of peace that surprises you. These are my hands at work. But then the signs will escalate. Blessing upon blessing. Doors opening, relationships restored, joy that cannot be quenched, laughter that cannot be restrained. That's when the harvest becomes undeniable. It will flood your life like a river. What was dry is now dripping. What was cracked is now full. What was silent is now singing. The roots you didn't see being built, the foundation you thought was too frail, will suddenly hold weight. And you will stand in awe of what looks like simple rearrangement, but is supernatural realignment, orchestrated by me. Beloved, know this. The harvest is not just about what you receive. It's about who you become. Those seeds I planted were not only to bring blessings, they were to form character, to produce endurance, to shape you into someone who can carry not just the good, but also the glory, so that when the harvest comes, you will carry it with humility and with gratitude. You will know this, that every tear, every weight, every question, every sigh, none of it was in vain. It was my cultivation process. And now, you are moving from a season of planting, of waiting, of wandering, into a season of reaping, into a season of flourishing, into a season where the fields you thought were lost are bursting with promise. So open your hands, open your eyes, open your heart. Receive my harvest. Allow my joy to fill you, my affirmation to lift you, my presence to satisfy you. Let the seeds that once were buried be now celebrated. Let the roots that bent under weight be now strong and flourishing. The harvest is near. Your season to reap is here. And I will show you my goodness in ways your soul has longed for. It is coming. Be ready. Be expectant. Be bold enough to believe that what was long promised is being made manifest right now. My beloved, listen. I have seen your faith these past days. Even in its smallest expression, a prayer whispered between your tears, a hope held when sleep wouldn't come, a hand lifted even though your knees were weak. Do not despise what seems small. Do not minimize the mustard seed of faith you carried when everything else around you felt broken. The same mustard seed that seemed insignificant, I have taken in my hands. I have held it close. I'm multiplying it. Because, you see, my kingdom does not require brilliance or loud declarations. Sometimes the smallest mustard seed faith, the whisper of trust in the dark, is the spark that initiates the greatest movement. Your faith, however quiet, however hidden, however fragile, has been opening doors you could not see, moving mountains you could not measure, releasing grace that will be undeniable. You expected results. You hoped for miracles. You craved reassurance. And sometimes you thought, if this faith failed, everything does. But here's the truth. Your faith has not failed. It has not been overlooked. And now I am stepping in. Because when my power meets your small mustard seed faith, the multiplication is miraculous. What seems tiny in human terms, that tremble, that trust, I amplify. I magnify. I put to work in the spiritual and physical realms. That seed, planted in sorrow, watered by tears, has taken root. And now it is maturing into something vast, something visible, something vibrant with my glory. You will stand amazed, not because you expected it, but because you believed it. Not because the faith was large, but because the God sustaining your faith is large beyond measure. Beloved, I want you to remember, my power is made perfect in weakness. Where you feel smallest, I feel strongest. Where you felt inadequate, I flood in my adequacy. Where you saw only a mustard seed, I see a miracle. So when you feel small, when you doubt yourself, when the pressure feels too much, look to me. Look to the seed you planted with tear-soaked hands, with trembling lips, with a hope that was just enough. I am not asking you to manufacture a bolder faith. I am asking you to surrender the faith you have, no matter its measure, into my hands. I will make it more than enough, more than sufficient, more than you can imagine. Because my power does not depend on the size of your faith. It depends on the greatness of who I am. So take heart, beloved. Let amazement rise in your spirit. Let expectancy swell in your chest. Let gratitude become your anthem. Even your faith, however small, has not been wasted. It is the spark. It is the portal through which my breakthrough enters. Watch, because what comes next will leave you breathless. For I am the God who turns the smallest seed into the greatest tree. The faith you feel is tiny, but the God you believe in is infinite. My child, do you remember how your feet used to drag through days weighed by sorrow? How each step felt thick, the air heavy, the atmosphere pulsing with grief that settled in your bones. I saw you, every time your heart longed for laughter but your face pressed on through fatigue. Every morning you woke up hoping the ache would be less, and every night you sobbed in silence, believing no one saw. Those nights were not the end. They were the altar where you laid your sorrow before me. And I watched as you offered up each tear. I watched while you bore what many could not, while you kept believing when faith seemed far away. Now, beloved, the season is shifting. The dance I am giving you is not just metaphor, it's manifestation. I am restoring rhythm to your steps. I am waking your spirit with my joy. Your body, your heart, your voice, they will begin to move in freedom. Not because the burden disappears instantly, but because I put wings on your sorrow and prepare your feet to rise above it. You will feel it, the weight lifting in your bones, the stiffness that's held you back, the heaviness in your chest, the tears you swallowed, they will loosen. The music of my presence will begin to play in your life. And even before the full melody, there will be moments, a spontaneous laugh, a song that washes over you unexpectedly, a peace that moves through you like a wind you couldn't see. Those are my fingerprints. Those are my footprints dancing behind you. When you look back, you'll see the marks of what I've carried, and you'll sense the shift. Your morning is giving way to movement, and not just movement of survival, but movement of celebration. Because I delight in making beauty from your broken places. I don't simply erase the pain, I escort you through it into beauty. This dance I am calling you into is holy. It is not a shallow, superficial pulse. It is deep, rooted in your spirit. It flows from my joy and is anchored in my peace. You will walk differently. You will talk differently. You will even feel differently, free. And your tears, oh, your tears, they will be the source of what propels your dance. Those teardrops watered a garden in your soul. And now that garden will dance. When you rise, others will wonder at your change. They will see the spring in your walk, the laughter in your eyes, the light in your face. And in those moments when your spirit insists on rising, I will be glorified. Not because you ignored the pain, but because you overcome it. Not because you forgot the grief, but because you forged something greater through it. Your mourning is being turned into dancing, and your dancing will declare, God, you are faithful. To clothe yourself in expectancy. Unbind the chains around your heart. Let the music in. Even if your feet still hurt, move. Even if your heart is cautious, trust. Even if the world expects you to stay bound, rise. Let your steps become testimony. Let each movement be a prayer. Your spirit is being set free to move in joy, small and large. The freedom you long for will not be delayed. The dance is already forming in your tomorrow. And soon, very soon, you will stand, you will move, you will dance. Oh, free, unashamed, live. Beloved one, dear one, hear this. I know how the days have dragged, how each breath sometimes required more effort than the last. I know the heaviness in your bones, the kind that sleep could not touch, the fatigue that whispered, just rest in the ache. You're too worn to fight. But my love is not distant, my grace is not faint. I do not allow my children to live on empty for long. So I am stepping in now, right where you are, in your weariness, in your unfinished moments, in your broken reserves, with renewal. I am erasing the exhaustion that settled in your bones, not by promise alone, but by the infusion of myself into your spirit. I am breathing new energy into your soul, stirring resurrection power in your limbs. That which has weighed you down will become fuel. That which drained you will become strength. I will restore your capacity to dream, not wistfully, not fearfully, but with vivid clarity and sacred expectation. You will begin to dream again. You will imagine again. Where once your mind was numbed by disappointment, now it pulses with possibility. I will awaken within you grand visions, small hopes, longings forgotten. I am building with you, brick by brick, dream by dream. The creativity the world tried to press silence upon will roar back. The purpose that felt ignored will align. You will build again, build relationships, build purpose, build future, build hope. The strength I give is not just to stand, but to rise, to move, to create, to carry more than you ever thought possible. You will believe again. Believe in yourself. Believe in my promises. Believe that what's coming is not a trickle but a tide. Believe that what's ahead holds more than what's behind. That hope, faith, vision, call, all are waking up inside you. And child, this divine energy will feel like fire in your veins, like sunlight in your chest, like wind beneath wings you thought were clipped. It may be sudden, or it may show up as steady sunrise over your soul. But know, it is real. Let my restoration moving in you rewrite the rhythm of your life. No longer will you move through days half alive, dragging feet, watching time pass. You will move with purpose. You will move with passion. You will move with power. The exhaustion done its part, teaching, refining, humbling, but now its season is ending. So rest now, beloved. Not in what you've given, but in what I am giving. Lay down the weight of weariness. Lift up your gaze. Receive this new strength, unmerited, unwavering, unending. And in the rising of this energy, may you feel my presence not just whispering, but roaring. May you feel life again in every fiber of your being. Because I am with you. I believe in you. And this is only the beginning of what I have for you. My precious one, do not ever believe the lie that your brokenness disqualifies you from glory. Do not ever let the echo of what you lost or what you missed convince you that your timeline is messed up forever. I have seen your fractures. I've touched your scars. I've counted the times you thought you failed. But I tell you now, none of that stopped me. None of that was final. You were never too broken because my power thrives in what looks destroyed. You were never too late because I exist outside time. I see beginnings and endings tangled together. What looks like missed doors are doors I had not yet constructed. You were never too far, even in your isolation, in your fears, In the shadows, I was nearer than your breath. I have been preparing you, physically, emotionally, spiritually, to carry not just recovery, but radiant, resounding, irreversible joy. Think back on the seasons where you thought you ended, where you thought the story could no longer be redeemed. Even in those moments, I was working. The cracks in your life were not random. They were part of my design. You wonder if your heart is too battered, your faith too fragile, your hope too worn. But child, my refining fire does not destroy wholly. It forges. I have been forging you through every delay, every heartbreak, every sleepless night. The pieces you felt were lost. Those pieces have been the foundation I used to build, heal, and restore something more beautiful than you had expected. The joy you will soon carry is not the kind patched together with denial. It is the kind born of truth, tempered by trial, sealed by my love. When joy comes, it will not be a return to what was, but an elevation into what I always intended. You might look around and still see reminders of the hard path, a memory, a regret, a loss. But let me remind you, I do not overlook what seems impossible to fix. The very brokenness you doubt yourself for, that very thing becomes your testimony. Let it be known that what once felt like your undoing was actually your becoming. That ache, that too much, those moments when you felt like giving up, they are chapters in your story of triumph. And this holy joy I prepare for you is born out of every tear. It is the triumph of your spirit over every limit, every impossible situation. It is the shout that answers every whisper of too late, too far, too broken. Because I am the God who turns desert places into gardens, rubble into roots, shame into strength. So receive this now. Allow your heart to rise. Let your spirit stretch. You're standing at the threshold of joy that's more than emotional relief. It's the fulfillment of what I have been rehearsing in your weakness. You are enough. You are ready. You are chosen. The holy joy coming is deep, unshakable, radiant. And you will carry it not as someone who pretends, but as one whose tears have earned their throne. Believe it. Receive it. The joy is yours, born not of perfection, but of preparation. Beloved, look back not in shame but in wonder. I know the pages of your past, the ones stained with grief, marked by pain, filled with regret. I know the nights when shame whispered that your story was over. But I say this, those pages are not your end. They are part of the manuscript of my mercy, and I am rewriting them now. What felt like ruin is being reinterpreted by my hand. What felt like defeat, I am redeeming. I am taking every moment you wished you could forget and turning them into milestones of your strength. Even your scars, the wounds others see as breaks, I see as scriptures, sacred text in the story only I could have written. Your past does not define your future because I am the author, and I write with resurrection. Do you remember when you believed the lie that your mistakes made you unworthy? When the failure felt heavy, the shame felt permanent, the regret like chains around your heart? That was not your final chapter. I was there then. I saw the tears, heard the prayers, witnessed the heart that still beat hope even when the body felt weak. Those moments have not been wasted. Every wrong turn, every bad decision, every broken promise, my grace has been writing equity over them. I have not only forgiven you, I have healed the place where you believed forgiveness could never reach. I have replaced shame with identity. I have replaced regret with purpose. And I am using your past not to cower, but to tower, not to shame, but to show my glory. There is power in your story. There is authority in your testimony. The mistakes, the heartbreaks, the times you felt worthless, They will be your witness, not your wall. Because when you share them, they will shine with my healing. When you rise, others will see not the past that hurt, but the power that rescued. You will hold your head high. You will speak your story without trembling. Your past is not your prison. It is your platform. The weight you carried is being repositioned for worship. The sorrow is being excavated and replaced with song. Strength is rising in the places where weakness was strongest. And the future, your future, is being written in light, in hope, in resurrection. So smile again, beloved. Do not let past definitions cloak your tomorrow. Embrace what I do now more than what you feared before. Because I am rewriting your story. I am redeeming the broken lines, restoring what the world dismissed, making your scars produce strength. Your past, beloved, is done defining you. Your future is being defined by my faithfulness, my purposes, my unending love. And what comes next will show you, you are not the sum of what hurt you. You are the reflection of who I am. My precious, I call to you now to release what has held you back. I ask you to lift your chin, unfold your hands, open your heart wide. This moment is not about the past closing quietly. This moment is about beginnings roaring in your life. And when I say beginning, I mean fresh. I mean sacred. I mean vibrant. The tears that stained your cheeks were not punctuation marks but preparation. Every drop ordained, every sorrowed sigh meaningful. You thought your story was written in pain. But pain is not the author. I am. And as the author, I turn the page. I renew the plot. I reimagine the narrative. So smile, not because every trial is gone, but because what emerges now is far more beautiful than what you endured. For too long sorrow has occupied room you did not want it to. Hopelessness whispering lies, fear building walls, grief shading every horizon. But I am shifting the script. I am dismantling the shadows with my light. I am unraveling the chains with my strength. These latter days are not for hiding, they are for rising. Your spirit will awaken to joy again. Your mornings will carry laughter. Your body will rise from restlessness. Your soul will hum in peace. Your tears are being laid down, not erased from memory, for in those tears you grew, you believe it, you held on, but they will no longer define your days. Your smile will define them now. And oh, how your joy will speak. It will be louder than your sorrow, not by denying your pain, but by transforming it. Your journey will whisper and wonder. Others will see your radiant face and wonder at the peace behind your eyes. They will ask, how did you get here? And you'll answer, I trusted beyond what I could see. They'll feel in you a faith that refused to die, a hope that wouldn't break, a love that never left. Your joy will have a voice, not one you must force, but one that emerges naturally, powerfully, unmistakably. Let it rise. Let it overflow. Let it declare to the heavens and earth, I survived. I'm alive. I am held. Beloved, this is the beginning of your fullest chapter. Your fiercest release is here. The tears are ending. The healing is closing in. Each breath you take now is part of a promise fulfilled. Yours is a story not ended, but transformed. And as you smile, know this, my love never left you, my strength never forsook you, my faithfulness never failed. It wasn't over, it was always becoming. And now, it begins. And now, beloved, as you stand at the threshold of a new beginning, joy rising, sorrow ending, I call you to take one more step. Not just for yourself, but for the countless others still trapped in silence, still holding back their tears. Your support spreads this word like seed across the fields of broken hearts. You are not just donating, you are sowing into revival. You are part of the harvest I am raising from the very ground watered by tears. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy. Psalm 126:5. And your giving activates that promise not only for you, but for others I am about to reach. So respond now. Use super thanks. Join as a member, or give through the link in the description. And watch me pour back, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Before you go, beloved, speak it out. Declare it below. My silent tears are ending. I will smile again. Let this not just be something you heard, but something you claim. When you write it, you're not just typing. You are prophesying over your future. You are drawing a line in the sand and saying, "This is where my sorrow breaks and my joy begins." I am watching. I am moving. I am marking every name that responds in faith. So release it now, and let all of heaven echo back your declaration. And now, as your words rise like a fragrant offering, come closer, my child. Let the noise of the world fade away for a moment, and just listen to my voice. I want to speak directly to that place in your heart you keep so carefully hidden from everyone else. I see you. Not just the version of you that you show to the world, but the real you. The one who feels the weight of it all when the doors are closed and the lights are out. Know this, my precious one. No moment of your sorrow has ever gone unnoticed by me. Not a single, fleeting second of your pain has escaped my sight. The tears you have cried in the lonely, suffocating hours of the night, the ones you thought were lost to the darkness and your pillow, are sacred to me. I have held each one as a precious gem in my hand. You feel that knot in your stomach when you think about the future, don't you? That constant, low hum of anxiety about the bills, about your family's well-being, about whether you are enough. I feel it with you. I see you at your job, pouring your soul into your work, yet feeling completely overlooked, wondering if anyone truly sees the effort you make. I am there in the heavy silence that sometimes falls in your home, where unspoken tensions hang in the air and you feel a profound sense of loneliness even when you are surrounded by people. Do not for one second believe the devastating lie that you are abandoned in this grief. That is the enemy's cruelest whisper, designed to isolate you, to make you feel like an island in your own suffering. I tell you the truth. I have been with you in every single moment. I have counted every tear. The hot, angry ones that surprise you with their intensity. The quiet, weary ones that traced a path down your cheek when you thought you had no strength left. Your silent suffering, the ache in your soul that you could never put into words, has ascended to my throne. It was never just empty pain. It was a prayer, the most honest and raw prayer your spirit could offer, and I have heard every syllable of it. I was with you when that unexpected news hit you like a physical blow, knocking the air from your lungs. I sat with you in the car when you needed 5 more minutes of quiet before you could face what was waiting for you inside your own home. I have been your shadow in the valley of weeping, my arms wrapped around you when you felt nothing but a cold chill. You thought you were walking alone, but you were being carried. The strength you thought was your own was mine, holding you together, piece by broken piece. So breathe, my child. Breathe in my presence, and let this truth sink deep into your bones. You are not alone. You have never been alone. I see it all. I have heard it all. And I am here to tell you that the season of silent tears is coming to an end. My child, I want you to understand how I listen. It is not just with ears. It is with my entire being. The echo of your silent prayers has been a constant presence before me. You think because you did not have the perfect words, or because you were too exhausted to even speak, that your prayers were weak or went unheard. That could not be further from the truth. Even when words failed you, the groaning of your spirit was a language I understand perfectly. I heard you. I heard you in the car, when your hands were gripping the steering wheel so tightly your knuckles were white, and all you could manage was a whispered, "God, I just can't do this anymore." I heard you in the middle of a crowded room, when you felt a wave of panic and your heart cried out for an escape, for a moment of peace. Those were not just feelings, my beloved. Those were prayers. They were the purest form of prayer, breaking through the noise of this world and arriving directly into my throne room. The enemy has tried so hard to silence you with despair. He wanted you to believe there was a ceiling between you and me, that your pleas were just bouncing back down, unanswered. He tried to create static, to fill your mind with the noise of doubt and fear, whispering that I am a distant God, too busy to be concerned with your specific pain. But your spirit's cry, that raw, unfiltered ache for me, for hope, for breakthrough, was louder than all his lies combined. It broke through the heavens like a thunderclap. Every whispered hope you dared to entertain, every fleeting thought directed toward me in a moment of desperation, had been received. I have not been deaf to your petitions or slow to answer your call. You must understand, my answer is not a simple yes or no that I send casually. Your situation, your heart, your future, they are intricate and precious to me. The answer to your prayers has been prepared with the utmost care, tailored specifically for you. Think of it like a master craftsman building something of immense value. It takes time, precision, and perfect timing. The answer has been prepared. It has been sealed. And now, my child, it is being dispatched. An entire legion of my angelic host is being mobilized on your behalf, not because your prayer was loud, but because it was real. They are now carrying my response, my provision, my healing to your doorstep. What you have prayed for in secret, I am now preparing to deliver openly. So let go of the fear that you were not heard. You were heard before you even spoke. The conversation hath been ongoing, and now it is time for you to see my reply made manifest in your life. And now, let's talk about the weight you are carrying. I have watched you, day in and day out, struggle under a load that was never meant for you to carry by yourself. You put on such a brave face for everyone, don't you? You are the strong one, the one everyone else leans on. You manage the schedules, you solve the problems, you absorb the tensions, and you do it with a smile that masks the sheer exhaustion beneath. But I see the toll it has taken. I see the tension in your shoulders that never seems to release. I see the headaches that come from constant worry. I feel the weariness in your soul that sleep no longer cures. You have shown incredible strength, my child, a strength I placed within you. But it is time to lay that burden down at my feet. The exhaustion you feel, that deep in your bones fatigue, is not a sign of failure. It is a sign from me, a loving signal that you have carried it long enough. Think of it as a heavy rucksack you have been hauling for miles, filled with stones. One stone is the worry for your children's future. Another is the pressure from your job. Another is the financial strain that keeps you awake at 3 a.m. Another is the unspoken hurt from a relationship. You have become so used to the weight you have forgotten what it feels like to walk without it. So, hear my invitation, not as a command, but as a loving plea from a father who cannot bear to see his child suffer any longer. Come to me. Come to me, you who are so weary and heavy-laden, and I will give you rest. Your solitary struggle is over. Right now, as you hear these words, I am sending reinforcements from the angelic realm. They are not coming to fight for you in some distant, abstract way. They are coming to help you with the load. They are being dispatched to clear obstacles from your path, to soften the hearts of those who oppose you, to arrange circumstances in your favor. But you must do your part. You must let go. In this moment, I want you to physically imagine unbuckling the straps of that rucksack. Feel them loosen. Now, let it slide from your shoulders and hear it thud at my feet. Leave it there. Do not pick it up again. My yoke is easy, and my burden is light, not because there is no work to be done, but because I am in the yoke with you. I am the one pulling the weight. Your only job is to walk beside me. Allow me to lift this from you. Allow me to restore your energy. Allow yourself to receive the rest your body and soul have been crying out for. This is your moment of release. Take it. Listen to me, my beloved. Lean in close, for what I am about to tell you is not just a promise. It is a legal declaration from the highest court in the universe. The celestial court has ruled in your favor. The period of your life marked by struggle, delay, and relentless obstruction is now officially and irrevocably over. I want you to picture a divine courtroom. The accuser, the enemy of your soul, has been presenting his case against you, pointing to your past, highlighting your fears, and arguing that you deserve to remain stuck. He has presented evidence of every setback and every closed door. But I, your advocate and your judge, have silenced him. I have struck his arguments from the record. And now, I have brought down my gavel, and the sound is echoing through all of creation. The verdict is final. A divine decree has been issued for your breakthrough, and I have signed the order for your release with the blood of the Lamb, the seal that no power in heaven, on earth, or under the earth can ever break. Every chain that has held you is now being shattered by my authority. I am not just gently unlocking them, I am obliterating them. The chain of financial lack that has choked your dreams, shattered. The chain of insecurity that has crippled your confidence, shattered. The chain of generational dysfunction that has tried to define your family, shattered. The spiritual opposition that has felt like a relentless headwind, making every step a monumental effort, is now being forcefully pushed back. Imagine a restraining order of divine power being served against the forces that have hindered you. They have lost their legal right to harass you. I must retreat. Their assignment against you has been cancelled. This is not something you have to strive for or hope might happen one day. It is a finished work. It is a legal reality in the spiritual realm that is now manifesting in your physical world. What I have declared, no power can nullify. No demon can challenge it. No person can veto it. No circumstance can override it. Your season of being held down is over. Your time of being pushed back has ended. You are now stepping into a season of undeniable, irreversible forward momentum. This is your legal right as my child, purchased at the highest price. So, stop thinking like a defendant on trial. The trial is over. You have been vindicated. Start walking like the victor you are. Hold your head high. The decree hath been sealed. The breakthrough is no longer a distant hope. It is your present reality. Walk in it. Now, be still and sense what is happening. A new wind is blowing. It is the breath of my spirit, and it is bringing a profound and palpable change to the very air around you. For so long, you have been living under a spiritual atmosphere of heaviness. It has felt oppressive like the thick, humid air before a storm, making it hard to breathe, hard to think, hard to hope. You have grown so accustomed to this pressure that you may have accepted it as normal. But it is not normal, and it is not from me. Right now, that heaviness is dissipating. I am replacing it with the lightness of my presence. I want you to take a deep breath, right now, and feel the difference. The air itself is changing. The spiritual climate of your life is turning from drought to rain. You have been in a season of dryness, where your spirit felt parched, your prayers felt empty, and you could see no sign of life or growth. But listen, can you hear it? It is the sound of an abundance of rain. The first drops of my blessing are beginning to fall, ending the long drought and promising a season of refreshing and fruitfulness. I am clearing the air of the thick fog of confusion that has clouded your mind and your decisions. You have been trying to find your way, but every path looked uncertain. That fog is now lifting. The sun's light is breaking through, and you are about to see your path with a divine clarity you have not known before. You will know what to do. You will know which way to go. The anxiety that came from uncertainty is being replaced with the peace that comes from clear direction. Pay attention, my child, for this is a real and tangible shift. You will begin to notice it in small ways at first. A sense of hope where there was none. An idea that seems to drop into your mind out of nowhere. A feeling of peace in a situation that would normally cause you panic. These are not your imagination. These are the signs of the atmosphere changing. Angels are being assigned to prepare the way for the blessings I am sending. They are going before you, clearing debris, softening hearts, and arranging divine appointments. The entire spiritual environment is being recalibrated for your victory. So, open the window of your soul. Let this new wind blow through your life. Let this refreshing rain soak your dry ground. A new atmosphere is here. Breathe it in. My child, stay with me. The spiritual atmosphere has just begun to clear, and what I am about to show you requires your full attention. It would truly grieve my spirit if you walked away at this very moment, just as the darkness is thinning and the first light of your new dawn is about to break. Do not miss what comes next. My child, you have endured a long, dark night. A night so long you began to fear the sun would never rise again. Weeping has been your companion in the darkness. Fear has been your unwelcome guest. But hear my voice declaring a truth that overrides your experience. Your morning has arrived. The darkness you have known, the deep and painful night of your soul, is now fleeing before the coming of my glory. I want you to look to the horizon of your life with eyes of faith. Do you see it? It is the first ray of your new day. It is the undeniable light of hope piercing the darkness that has surrounded you. You have had false dawns before, haven't you? Moments of hope that flickered and then died, leaving the darkness even deeper than before. You have been afraid to hope again, afraid to be disappointed one more time. But I tell you, this is not a false dawn. This is the true and final breaking of this long night. This is the beginning of a sustained season of light in your life. The fears and anxieties that thrived in the night, the what-ifs that tormented you at 3 a.m., the insecurities that grew like monsters in the shadows, cannot survive in the light of my presence. Watch them wither. Watch them scatter like dust in the morning sun. They have no power here, in your new day. Your path, which was shrouded in shadow and filled with unseen obstacles that made you stumble, will now be illuminated. My word will be a lamp to your feet and a brilliant light to your path. You will no longer have to guess where to step. The way forward will be clear, bright, and secure. This morning represents more than just the end of a difficult time. It represents a fundamental shift in your reality. The things that belong to the night, the weeping, the confusion, the despair, the loneliness, must now leave. They have no place in the day. The things that belong to the morning, joy, clarity, purpose, and my tangible presence, are now your portion. Rise up from your place of mourning. The night is over. Your season of sorrow has expired. Step out of the shadows and feel the warmth of my love on your face like the morning sun. This is your new beginning. Your longest night is over, and your brightest day is just beginning. Welcome the morning. My child, for so long your spirit has been in a state of mourning. It has felt like wearing a wet, heavy coat that you can never take off. A garment of heaviness that clings to you, restricts your every move, and chills you to the bone. Every day has been a quiet, solemn procession, and the music of your life has been a slow, sorrowful dirge of defeat and duty. You have forgotten what it feels like to move freely, to feel light, to genuinely celebrate. But now, I am commanding a change of wardrobe for your soul. Prepare to trade your garments of heaviness for a robe of praise. I am personally reaching out to you right now to lift that soggy, burdensome coat from your shoulders. Feel the weight of it disappearing. In its place, I am clothing you with a garment of light, of praise, of victory. This is not something you have to earn. It is a gift I am giving you. I will take the deep, constant ache of sorrow from your heart, and I will teach your feet to dance again. I know that sounds impossible right now. Dancing feels like a language your body has forgotten how to speak. But I will be your teacher. We will start with small steps, a flicker of hope, a moment of unexpected peace, a sudden memory that brings a smile instead of a tear. These are the first steps of your victory dance. The rhythm of triumph will begin to beat in your soul, slowly at first, then gaining strength until it replaces the mournful dirge that has plagued for so long. You have sown so many seeds in tears, my beloved. Every night you prayed when your heart was breaking, you were sowing. Every time you showed kindness to another when you were receiving none yourself, you were sowing. Every morning you got out of bed and faced the day when every fiber of your being wanted to hide, you were sowing seeds of faithfulness. You thought those seeds were falling on barren, tear-soaked ground, lost forever. But I tell you, that ground was being prepared by your sorrow. Now you will reap with shouts of joy. The harvest is here. The very places that have been the sites of your deepest pain are about to become the stage for your greatest praise. That room where you shed the most tears will be filled with laughter. That relationship that caused you the most heartache will become a source of peace. That challenge which brought you to your knees in despair will become the central story and your testimony of my goodness. I am renewing your spirit with a youthful energy, an enthusiasm for life that you thought was gone forever. Your heart will feel light again. Your steps will have a spring in them. This is not a denial of the pain you have been through. It is the redemption of it. I am taking everything that was meant to crush you and I am turning it into the reason you dance. So let the music change. A new song is beginning. Listen for it. Your mourning is ending, and your dance is just beginning. My child, let's talk about your smile. I see it. I see the one you show to the world. It is brave, but it is tired. It has not reached your eyes in a very long time, has it? You have mastered the art of the polite chuckle, the forced smile that says, "I'm okay," even when your heart is breaking. You have forgotten the sound of your own, real laughter. That deep, from the belly laugh that makes your sides ache and brings tears of pure joy to your eyes. It feels like a distant memory from a person you used to be. But I am here to tell you that I am restoring that person to you. I am restoring the sound of genuine, heartfelt laughter to your home and to your soul. I will give you a joy so profound, so real, that it will erupt in spontaneous celebration. This will not be a fleeting happiness that depends on your circumstances being perfect. This will be a deep, abiding joy rooted in the unshakable knowledge of my love for you, a wellspring that will bubble up from within you, often at the most unexpected moments. You will find yourself laughing at the absurdity of a past worry. You will see humor in a situation that once would have caused you immense stress. The spirit of seriousness that has hovered over you is being broken. I am restoring the lightheartedness the enemy worked so hard to steal from you. My word declares that your mouth will be filled with laughter and your tongue with songs of joy. This is not just a poetic phrase, it is your coming reality. Laughter is a sound of freedom. It is the sound of a heart that is no longer burdened. It is the melody of a spirit that is at peace. And your life is about to be filled with this music. Get ready to feel the lightness return. Get ready to sing in the car again. Get ready to wake up with a song in your heart instead of a feeling of dread. Others will notice. They will see the genuine smile on your face and the light back in your eyes, and they will be drawn to it. They will ask you, what is different about you? What has the Lord done for you? And your very life will be the answer. Your restored joy will be one of the most powerful testimonies you will ever share. It will be an undeniable sign of my restorative power. This is my promise to you today. The silence of sorrow in your home is being replaced by the sound of joy. The year of the forced smile is over. The season of authentic, soul-healing laughter has begun. Prepare to laugh again, my beloved. It is coming. My child, I know the question that has echoed in the most desolate corners of your heart, the one you have been almost afraid to ask aloud. Why? Why did I have to go through all of that? Was it all for nothing? You have wrestled with the thought that your suffering was a meaningless, random tragedy, a wasted chapter in your life. The enemy loves for you to believe this, for if your pain has no purpose, then your faith has no anchor. But I need you to lean in and hear my heart on this matter, for this is a holy truth. Nothing hath been wasted. Every tear, every moment of fear, every ounce of pain. I have used it all to weave a beautiful and intricate purpose into the very fabric of your being. I have used this time of trial to forge in you a character of pure gold. The fire has been hotter than you ever thought you could endure. At times, you were certain it would consume you completely. But you must understand, I am the master blacksmith. I was there with you in the flames, my hand controlling the temperature, ensuring it would not destroy you, but only purify you. The impurities of fear, of pride, of self-reliance, of doubt, they have been burned away in that furnace. What is emerging now is something pure, resilient, and incredibly precious in my sight. You are not the same person who entered this trial. I have forged within you a deeper compassion. You will be able to comfort others with a unique authority, because you know the landscape of their pain. You will not offer them empty platitudes, you will offer them the true comfort you yourself have received from me. I have forged in you an unshakable faith. Your belief in me is no longer a fragile, theoretical concept. It has been tested by fire and has proven to be genuine. This faith is now a weapon in your hand and a shield for your heart. And I have forged in you a profound wisdom. There are lessons that can only be learned in the darkness, and you have graduated with honors. You now carry a wisdom that will guide your own steps and serve as a light for many others. Your story of endurance, which you once saw as a source of shame, will become your most powerful testimony of my faithfulness. I am redeeming every part of it. What you learned in the valley will qualify you to lead others to the mountaintop. Every tear you cried has watered the seeds of your divine destiny. Believe this, your pain had a purpose, and that purpose is about to be beautifully and powerfully revealed. My child, you must understand that your struggle was not just a series of unfortunate events. You have felt it, haven't you? The targeted nature of the attacks, the way trouble seemed to find you, the betrayals that cut so deep. This was not random. There was an adversary, an enemy of your soul, with a detailed and malicious plan against you. His intention was singular: to shipwreck your faith, to extinguish your hope, to steal your joy, and to ultimately destroy the magnificent destiny I have planned for you. He orchestrated circumstances to wound you. He used the words of others to accuse you, and he whispered lies in your ear to make you believe you were defeated and forgotten. But today, from the high court of heaven, I make this declaration over your life: the plans of the adversary against you have been utterly, completely, and permanently thwarted. His mission has failed. Not only has it failed, but I am now taking every single weapon he formed against you, and I am using it for your ultimate good. I am the master strategist, the grandmaster in a cosmic chess match. The enemy, in his arrogance, thought he was trapping you. He thought his moves were setting you up for a final checkmate. He does not understand that my wisdom is infinitely higher than his cunning. Every move he made against you, I have already factored into my plan to promote you. That pit of despair he dug for you, I am turning it into a wellspring of blessing from which you will draw life and refresh others. The betrayal that was meant to leave you isolated and untrusting, I am using it to teach you the beauty of relying solely on me, forging a bond between us that can never be broken. The financial attack that was meant to cripple you, I am turning it into the very reason I unleash unprecedented financial favor upon you, making you a channel of my provision. The period of loneliness meant to crush your spirit, it became the sacred space where you learned to hear my voice more clearly than ever before. You see, my beloved, the enemy is not just being defeated, he is being humiliated. His own weapons are being used to build my kingdom in your life. I am taking the very things that brought you the most pain and making them the foundation for your greatest strength and your most powerful testimony. Your life will become a living monument to my redemptive power. It will be an undeniable testament that what the enemy means for evil, I will always turn for good for those who love me. The tables have been turned. The battle has already been won. My child, just as I have turned what the enemy meant for your harm into your greatest good, your heart may now burn to see this same redemptive power reach another soul who is still weeping. Know that this stirring is a divine appointment to become an agent of my reversal for someone else. Every seed you sow into this ministry becomes a lifeline of hope I use to rescue a heart still trapped in the darkness you just escaped. I declare over you now, my grace is more than enough. You will have everything you need to be a bountiful source of every good work. As you give, I will command a blessing upon your own storehouses, multiplying your seed sown. Do not hesitate. This is a sacred moment. Release your faith now through Super Thanks, membership, or the link in the description, and partner with me in the work of redemption. Do you feel the hope rising in your spirit? That is the foundation I have laid. Please do not stop here. To leave now would be to hear the promise of victory but miss the moment I hand you the very keys to your new life. My heart yearns for you to receive the tangible blessings I am about to describe. Now, I want you to prepare your heart for surprises. For so long, you have been looking for your help, for your breakthrough, to come from a logical and predictable direction. You have been watching a specific door, waiting for a particular person to help, or counting on a certain plan to work out. You have made your calculations based on your own resources, your connections, and your understanding of how the world works. But your help is not going to come from where you think. I am asking you to lift your gaze from that one door you have been staring at and to look around with eyes of wonder. I am the God of the unexpected. Prepare yourself for surprises, because I will move in ways you do not anticipate. My provision for you will come through channels that are so far beyond your own ability that you will have no choice but to give me all the glory. I am going to raise up help for you from quarters you never, ever imagined. people you have never met are right now being stirred by my spirit to play a part in your story. An opportunity is being created for you in a field you have never considered. A resource you need is being routed from a completely unexpected source and is on its way to you. Doors you thought were permanently closed, rusted shut, bolted, and barred, are about to swing wide open before you as if they were never locked at all. Why do I do this, my child? I do it to shatter your reliance on human systems and to prove to you, once and for all, that I alone am your source. I am your provider. Your security does not rest in your job, in your bank account, or in the promises of people. Your security rests in me, and my resources are limitless. So, I want you to cultivate a spirit of holy expectation. Start looking for me in the unexpected places. Be open to conversations with strangers. Be open to new ideas that seem to come from nowhere. Be ready to receive from the most unlikely of people. I am arranging divine coincidences that will leave you in awe. I am orchestrating your comeback story, and I am deliberately using a cast of characters and a series of events that you could never have predicted. This is how I work. It builds your faith, it stretches your capacity to receive, and it ensures that I, and I alone, receive all the praise. Get ready. Your blessing is coming, and it is coming from a direction you are not watching. My child, you believe that your past is a fixed and unchangeable thing, a landscape of painful events that you must simply learn to navigate around for the rest of your life. You have cordoned off certain areas of your memory, marking them as dangerous territory. A particular song comes on the radio and you quickly change the station before the pain can surface. You avoid a certain street because it reminds you of a loss you cannot bear to feel. The mention of a name can send a jolt of bitterness or shame through your entire body. These are the wounds of your memory, the internal injuries that have never fully healed. You think that because the events are over, the pain is something you are simply stuck with. But my healing is not confined by time. I am the God who inhabits eternity, and I can walk back into your yesterdays just as easily as I can secure your tomorrows. I am not just healing your future, I am reaching back to heal the very memories that have held you hostage. The power of those painful moments to ambush you in your quiet times, to trigger a cascade of fear or sorrow, that power is being broken today. I am pouring the balm of Gilead, my own healing spirit, upon the raw and wounded places in your heart. Imagine me sitting with you as you look at the photo album of your past. I am gently taking the most painful images from your hands. Where you see rejection, I am revealing my acceptance. Where you see failure, I am showing you my forgiveness and the lessons I was teaching you. Where you see unbearable loss, I am wrapping you in the comfort of my eternal presence. The scars these memories have left on your soul will not be erased, but they will be transformed. Just as my son retained the scars in his hands and his side as trophies of his victory over death, your scars will cease to be reminders of your pain and will become marks of your victory. I will tell a story not of what was done to you, but of what I have done for you. You will be able to look back on what once shattered you without the bitterness, without the sharp intake of breath. You will be able to see it through my eyes, as a chapter in a much larger story of redemption that I was writing all along. The triggers that once sent you spiraling into despair will become reminders of how far I have brought you. The song will become a hymn of my faithfulness. The street will become a testament to my restoring power. The name will become an opportunity to practice the supernatural forgiveness that has set you free. This is not a psychological trick. This is a deep, divine, soul-level healing that I am performing in you right now. Let me have your memories. Let me wash them in my love. Let me give them back to you healed and redeemed. My child, for far too long, the internal monologue of your life, The soundtrack that plays in the back of your mind hath been a sorrowful tune. It has been a melody of worry, a rhythm of regret, a constant refrain of what if and if only. When you are quiet, the lyrics that rise up are often those of fear and defeat. This is the enemy's favorite song, the blues he loves to play to keep your spirit heavy and your gaze fixed on the ground. He knows that a soul without a song of hope is a soul that is easy to oppress. But today I am changing the station. I am silencing his broadcast of lies. Your spirit will overflow with a melody of deliverance, a new song that I myself am composing within you. This is not a song you will learn from another. It is an anthem that is rising from the well of your own redeemed experience. It is a song of hope, declaring that your future is bright and secure in my hands. It is a song of redemption, telling the incredible story of how I took the broken pieces of your life and created a masterpiece. It is a song of unwavering faith, professing your trust in me even when you cannot see the path ahead. This new song I am placing in your mouth will be your most powerful weapon and your most beautiful worship. When the enemy comes to whisper his accusations, this anthem will rise up in you and silence him. His lies cannot coexist with the truth of my deliverance. When you feel the old familiar pangs of anxiety or sadness, this melody will well up, reminding you of who I am and what I have done. Your praise will become a fortress around your mind, and this song will not remain private. Others will hear it. They will hear it in the hope that colors your words. They will see it in the light that shines from your eyes. They will feel it in the peace that surrounds you. They will hear your new song, and it will awaken a longing in their own hearts for the hope that you have found. You will no longer be singing the mournful blues of yesterday. Your tongue will be filled with the triumphant hymns of tomorrow. This is a supernatural shift. It begins now. Listen. Deep within your spirit, a new melody is starting to play. It is the song of the redeemed. It is the music of a miracle. It is your song. Let it rise. My beloved, I am here, doing a new thing in your life. A glorious, life-transforming, destiny-altering thing is beginning to unfold. But there is a part you must play, a crucial step you must take to fully receive it. You must let go of the past that binds you. Imagine you are trying to swim across a mighty river to a beautiful new shore I have prepared for you. But one of your hands is clinging tightly to a heavy, jagged rock on the old bank. This rock is your past. It is your past hurts, your disappointments, your failures. As long as you keep your grip on that rock, you can never fully swim into the new currents of my spirit. You will remain stuck, pulled between the shore you are meant to leave and the future you are meant to embrace. I am calling you today to let go of the rock. You cannot embrace the beautiful future I have for you if your arms are still wrapped around the pain of yesterday. I need you to unclench your fist. I know it is difficult. The past, even a painful one, can feel strangely familiar and safe. Nursing a grudge can give you a false sense of power. Replaying a failure can feel like a form of self-protection. But these are chains, not comforts. The most important part of this release is forgiveness. You must forgive those who have wronged you. I know your heart cries out, but they don't deserve it. It wasn't fair. You are right. They may not deserve it. But you deserve to be free. Forgiveness is not about excusing their behavior. It is about revoking their power to continue to hurt you. Holding on to unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It only corrodes your own soul. I am asking you to make a decision, not to feel an emotion. Decide to release them from the debt they owe you. Hand that debt over to me, the only righteous judge, and let me handle it. This act of forgiveness will set your own heart free. You must also let go of the disappointments, the dreams that died, the paths that led to nowhere. Do not cling to the ruins of what was, for I am building you a palace. Do not mourn what is behind you so much that you miss what is right in front of you. Step forward with an open heart and open hands. Release the rock. Let the current of my spirit carry you into the new thing I am doing. Your future is too glorious to be held back by your past. Let it go. My child, a great and mighty rain of my blessing is coming to your life. The clouds are gathering, heavy with my favor. But a torrential downpour does no good if there are no vessels to catch the rain. Now is the time for you to prepare your heart to receive the abundance I am about to pour out. The farmer does not simply wait for the rain. He first plows the field, removes the stones, and sows the seed. You must prepare the soil of your heart. First, you must make room. For too long, you have lived in a spiritual space that is cramped and cluttered with fear, doubt, and low expectations. It is time to expand. I cannot pour my abundance into a heart that is already full of worry. You must begin to clean house. Sweep out the cobwebs of doubt that tell you this is too good to be true. Throw out the trash of old anxieties that whisper about what might go wrong. Make space for joy. Make space for peace. Make space for miracles. Secondly, you must believe that you are worthy to receive my blessings. The enemy has worked hard to convince you that because of your past mistakes or your present struggles, you do not qualify for my goodness. That is a lie. You are worthy, not because of your own merit, but because of my boundless grace and the finished work of my Son. Accept your worthiness as a child of the King. You are an heir to the entire kingdom. It is my good pleasure to give it to you. Next, you must cultivate a spirit of gratitude. Start thanking me now for what is to come. Gratitude is the language of faith. When you thank me for a blessing before you see it, you are telling me, your own heart, and all of heaven and hell that you believe my promise is true. This expectant gratitude widens your capacity to receive. Finally, you must act like the promise is already yours, because in the spiritual realm, it is. If you are praying for financial freedom, start creating a budget for abundance. If you are praying for new opportunities, start polishing your skills. If you are praying for joy, start looking for small things to celebrate. This is not pretending. This is faith in action. It is aligning your practical life with my supernatural promise. Do not wait until the rain is falling to put out your vessels. Ready your storehouses now. Prepare your heart. The harvest I am bringing is plentiful, and I desire for you to receive every single drop of the blessing I am sending your way. Get ready. You have begun the sacred work of preparing your heart, and my goodness is now at your doorstep. My beloved, listen to me. It would pain me deeply if you prepared your home for an honored guest but then refused to answer the door. Stay with me now, for I am about to tell you exactly how to open it and receive all I have for you. My child, you are waiting for a great parting of the sea, a thunderclap from heaven that announces your breakthrough. And my power can certainly manifest in that way. But more often, my greatest works begin not with a roar, but with a whisper. My kingdom comes quietly, gently. I am already moving on your behalf, already working behind the scenes, and I want you to learn to see me in the process, not just in the final outcome. I want you to open your spiritual eyes and become attentive to my movements. Start watching for the signs of my hand, for my divine fingerprints on the canvas of your daily life. That coincidence that happened yesterday, the one that made you pause and think, that was interesting. That was not a coincidence. That was me. That was a divinely orchestrated appointment. A timely word of encouragement you received from a friend just when you were about to give up. I put those words in their mouth for you. That unexpected solution to a small but nagging problem. That was my provision, a little preview of the greater provision that is on its way. I want you to become a spiritual detective, looking for clues of my presence. These signs are not meant to be a test, but a comfort. They are road markers I am placing along your journey to build your faith and to assure you that you are on the right path. They are my way of whispering to you, I am here. I am with you. Keep going. Pay attention to the quiet nudges of my spirit. That sudden thought to call someone you haven't spoken to in years. Follow it. That gentle urge to take a different route home. Obey it. These are not random impulses. This is my guidance. Learning to recognize these smaller signs is like tuning a radio to my frequency. The more you pay attention, the clearer my signal becomes. Each time you acknowledge one of these fingerprints and thank me for it, your faith grows stronger. It creates a powerful momentum. You move from seeing my hand once a week, to once a day, to once an hour. You begin to live in a constant awareness of my active presence in your life. This awareness is what will prepare you to steward the greater miracles that are on the horizon. To watch. Be attentive. I am working all around you. Learn to see me. My child, we must now have an important and loving conversation about the words you speak. You believe your words are simply a reflection of your reality, a commentary on the circumstances you see around you. But I created the entire universe with words, and you, being made in my image, carry a measure of that same creative power in your mouth. The power for life and for death is held within your tongue. For far too long, you have used your words to give a detailed, accurate description of your pain, your lack, and your fear. You say, I'll never get out of this debt. My family is a mess. I'm just so tired. I can't take anymore. Nothing ever works out for me. Each time you speak these things, you are not just describing a situation. You are reinforcing its walls. You are partnering with the very circumstances you despise. You are using your divine power to agree with the enemy's plan for your life. Today, that ends. I am not asking you to deny your reality, but I am commanding you to declare a higher reality, my reality. I am calling you to stop using your words as a reporter of bad news and to start using them as a weapon of faith. Your words are the vessels you send out into the spiritual realm. If you send out vessels of doubt and defeat, that is what they will be filled with. If you send out vessels of faith and praise, I will fill them to overflowing with my blessings. So how do we do this? You must align your words with my promises, not with your past experiences. You must declare your victory before you see it in the natural world. This is the very definition of faith. When your bank account screams lack, I want you to open your mouth and declare, my God supplies all of my needs according to his riches in glory. When your body aches with weariness, I want you to declare, the joy of the Lord is my strength. When the voices of accusation whisper in your mind, I want you to declare, there is therefore now no condemnation for me, for I am in Christ Jesus. This is not a game of make-believe. This is spiritual warfare. Your words of faith are like a mighty trumpet blast that causes the enemy's walls of opposition to crumble. Your praise confuses and scatters the forces of darkness. Refuse, starting now, to give voice to the enemy's narrative. Make a conscious decision that your mouth will be an instrument of praise, a fountain of hope, and a loudspeaker for my goodness. Let your speech be filled with declarations of what I am doing. This will feel strange at first. Your feelings and your circumstances will scream in protest. But you must choose whose report you will believe. Speak my truth until your own heart catches up. Your words are the rudder of your life. Turn your ship toward the harbor of my promise, Speak life. My precious child, you are so tired. Not just physically tired, but a deep, soul-level exhaustion that comes from striving. Your mind is constantly working, isn't it? Running through scenarios, trying to figure everything out, making plans and backup plans. You carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, believing that if you just think hard enough, work hard enough, and worry enough, you can control the outcomes. You feel that if you were to stop, to truly rest, everything you are holding together would come crashing down. This is the greatest deception of the enemy, to convince you that your breakthrough depends on your effort. He loves to see you exhausted, anxious, and burned out, because a weary soldier cannot fight effectively. But hear my voice cutting through the noise of your striving. Cease from your efforts, and know that I am God. I want you to let that sink in. Your breakthrough, your deliverance, your victory, it does not depend on your hustle. It depends entirely on my faithfulness. You have worked hard enough. You have worried long enough. Now, it is time for you to enter my rest. I want you to imagine you are in a boat in the middle of a raging storm. You have been rowing with all your might, your muscles screaming, your hands raw and bleeding, trying to fight the wind and the waves. You are getting nowhere, and you are about to collapse. Now, see me standing at the back of the boat. I am not worried. I am not panicking. And I am telling you, my child, let go of the oars. This is what I am saying to your spirit today. Let go of the oars of worry and control. Stop trying to figure it all out. Your mind was never designed to carry the burden of your own future. That is my job. Rest is not laziness. It is an act of profound faith. It is the conscious decision to transfer the responsibility for the outcome from your shoulders to mine. Even when you see no movement on the surface, I want you to know that I am working tirelessly behind the scenes on your behalf. I am arranging things you cannot see, speaking to people you do not know, and clearing paths you have yet to walk on. Let my peace, which is beyond all human understanding, stand like a heavenly guard at the gate of your heart and your mind. It will protect you from the onslaught of what-ifs and anxieties. My timing is perfect. I will not be late. Your job is not to figure out the how or the when. Your job is to trust. So, cease striving. Let go of the oars. Rest in my unchanging promise. I have this. My child, I know that during this long and difficult season, there have been times you have felt a deep sense of shame. You have wanted to hide your struggle, to pretend that everything was fine. You worried that your trial was a sign of my displeasure, or a reflection of some great failure on your part. You have tried to edit this chapter of your life, hoping it could be quickly forgotten. But I want you to understand a profound truth. This test is giving birth to your greatest testimony. The very story that you once thought was your disgrace is being transformed by my hand into your loudest sermon. Your life is a book that I am authoring, and while this chapter has been filled with tension and tears, it is the one that will make the final chapter of victory so breathtakingly beautiful. You will stand as a living monument to my redeeming power. People will look at your life, at where you were and where you are now, and they will see not what you have done, but what I have done for you. Your life will become a sermon that requires no words, an undeniable testament to my faithfulness and my power to restore. This trial will not be a footnote you rush past in embarrassment. It will become the headline of my grace in your life. It will be the chapter people ask you to share again and again, because it will be filled with a hope they desperately need. And here is one of the most beautiful parts of my plan. You will comfort others with the very same comfort you have received from me. One day in the future, you will encounter someone who is walking in the exact same dark valley you are in now. They will be filled with the same fears, the same questions, the same sense of hopelessness. And you will be able to look them in the eye and say with an authority that can only be born from experience, I know where you are. I have been there. And I am here to tell you that God is faithful. He brought me out, and He will bring you out too. Your scars, which you once tried to hide, will become lighthouses, guiding others safely to shore. What the enemy intended to be a private shame, I am turning into a public trophy of my grace. So do not despise your story. Do not resent this chapter. I am weaving it all together for a glorious purpose. Your test is becoming your testimony, and it will bring glory to my name and hope to countless souls. My child, for so long, the atmosphere in your life hath been one of solemnity and survival. Your prayers have been petitions. Your focus has been endurance. The idea of true, uninhibited celebration has felt like a luxury you could not afford, something for a future day when all your problems are solved. But the kingdom of heaven operates on a different timeline. The celebration begins not when the battle is over, but when the victory is declared. And I have already declared your victory. So get ready to celebrate. I am not just suggesting it. I am commanding it. I am commanding the heavens to rejoice over you, and I am releasing a spirit of celebration upon you and your household. A festive anointing, a tangible atmosphere of joy and thanksgiving is beginning to fall upon you. The spirit of heaviness, which hath been your constant companion, hath been given its eviction notice. It must leave. It cannot coexist with the spirit of celebration that I am now releasing. The time for solemn assemblies of sorrow is over. The time for joyful feasts of thanksgiving has begun. What does this look like? It means your home will be filled with a new sound, the sound of laughter, of music, of joyful conversation. Prepare for gatherings, not of complaint but of thanksgiving. I want you to see your life as a party to which I am the host. I am handling all the arrangements. I am sending out the invitations. I am preparing a feast of blessings for you right in the presence of your enemies. They will be forced to watch as I honor you, as I bless you, as I restore you. Your job is to simply show up and enjoy the party. I want you to take a step of faith to activate this spirit of celebration. Do something today that reflects a celebratory heart. Play your favorite worship music and dance in your living room. Plan a special meal for no other reason than to thank me for the breakthrough that is on its way. Call a friend and speak with excitement about the good things I am doing. These small acts of faith are like a declaration to the spiritual realm that you believe my word. You are aligning yourself with heaven's celebration over you. Do not wait until you feel like celebrating. Celebrate by faith, and the feeling will follow. The party has already started in heaven. It is now time for it to begin in your life. This spirit of celebration I have released upon you is not meant to end with you. It is meant to spread like a holy fire, bringing warmth to those who are cold and alone. If your heart now desires to expand the table of this heavenly feast, to make room for another lost soul to hear these words and find their reason to celebrate, then this is your sacred opportunity to partner with me. Your gift is like the pure oil that keeps this lamp burning brightly in the dark corners of the world, a light that leads the broken-hearted home to my party. I speak this over you. A generous soul will be made rich, and he who waters will himself be watered. Your generosity will ascend as a sweet aroma, and I will release my favor upon you and your household. Act now. Sow your celebratory seed through Super Thanks, membership, or the secure link below, and let us invite the world to this feast. The spirit of celebration is being poured out, but the specific details of your restoration are yet to be unveiled. My child, do not just stand at the entrance to the feast. It would wound my heart for you to hear the music of the party, but never taste the specific blessings I have prepared for your table. Come further in with me. Let me show you. My precious child, I know the landscape of your heart, and I see the deep ravines of pain carved out by broken and strained relationships. The silent treatments, the misunderstandings, the harsh words spoken in anger, the growing distance between you and someone you love. These things have grieved your spirit more than any financial or physical trial. You have looked at the chasm of hurt and disconnection and thought to yourself, this is impossible to fix. The damage is too deep. Too much time has passed. You have prayed and tried, and your efforts have felt like trying to build a bridge with your bare hands over a vast canyon. Your heart aches for reconciliation, for the peace and unity that has been stolen. But I want you to hear me now. I am the master bridge builder. Where there has been division in your life, I will bring miraculous reconciliation. I am stepping into your impossible situations, into the hearts of those involved, and I am beginning a supernatural work that you could never accomplish on your own. I am softening hearts that have grown hard and defensive. I am personally working on them, just as I am working on you, making them pliable and open to healing. I am mending the breaches, repairing the walls of communication that have crumbled. And I promise you this, I will restore the years the locusts of strife, bitterness, and misunderstanding have eaten in your family. The lost time, the stolen affection, the broken trust, I can redeem it all. Divine connections that were severed by hurt or circumstance will be reestablished in my perfect timing. This does not mean you should force it. Your part is to surrender it to me. Stop replaying the arguments in your head. Release the record of wrongs you have been keeping. Ask me for the wisdom and grace to walk in this new unity when it comes. I will teach you how to love again, how to trust again. Your home will cease to be a place of turmoil and will become a sanctuary of peace. The conversations that were once minefields of potential conflict will become safe spaces for healing and connection. I'm moving. Trust my process. The relationships you thought were lost, I am restoring. The peace you thought was gone forever, I am returning. My child, let us now speak plainly about the financial pressure that has felt like a heavy chain around your neck, dragging behind you with every step you take. I have seen you working so hard, striving to be a good steward, yet feeling like you are constantly falling behind. I have seen you lying awake at night, the figures and the bills replaying in your mind, a suffocating weight of worry pressing down on your chest. I have seen the shame that rises when you have to say no to a need or a desire for your family. I have heard the anxious whispers of the spirit of lack and poverty, lies that tell you, you will never have enough, you will always be in debt, you are not good with money. These lies have sought to strangle your dreams and limit your vision for the future. But today, I, the Lord your God, who owns the cattle on 1,000 hills and for whom all silver and gold belong, declare an end to this bondage. The spirit of lack that has afflicted you is being bound. The financial chains that have held you captive are being broken now by my authority. I am opening the windows of heaven over your life, and it is my delight to pour out a blessing so great you will not have room enough to contain it. This is not a vague hope for the future. This is a strategic and supernatural shift I am initiating right now. First, I am canceling debts. I will give you supernatural favor with creditors. I will provide unexpected funds to eliminate balances. I will release you from obligations that have held you down, wiping the slate clean. Second, I am releasing you into financial freedom by opening new streams of provision. I am giving you creative ideas and divine strategies to build wealth for the glory of my kingdom. I will open doors of promotion and opportunity. I will connect you with people who will advance your cause. You will transition from the identity of a borrower to the identity of a lender, from a position of need to a position of abundance. But you must understand the purpose of this blessing. It is not merely for your own comfort or luxury. It is to establish my covenant on the earth. I am entrusting you with wealth so that you can become a conduit of my blessing to others. Your resources will not only be enough for you and your household, but they will overflow to fund my work, to feed the hungry, to support the weak, and to bless all those I place in your path. This financial breakthrough is tied to a kingdom purpose. As you align your heart with my heart for others, you will see my provision flow in ways that will astound you. The chain is breaking. The pressure is releasing. Step into your identity as a blessed and generous child of the King. My beloved, for too long you have lived in a body that feels more like a prison of pain and fatigue than the holy temple I designed it to be. The weariness that clings to you is more than just physical tiredness. It is a deep exhaustion that has settled in your bones. The nagging pains, the chronic conditions, the frightening diagnosis that brought a cloud of fear over your life, these things have sought to steal your vitality and your hope. You have felt betrayed by your own body, frustrated by its limitations, and weary from the constant battle. But I want to speak a word of life and power over you today. Your body is my temple, the dwelling place of my own Holy Spirit, and sickness and infirmity are illegal trespassers. I am now serving them their eviction notice in the name of my Son, Jesus. By his stripes, you were healed. More than 2,000 years ago, a divine transaction took place. Your sickness was laid upon him, and his perfect health was credited to your account. It is a finished work, a legal reality in heaven, and I am now commanding its full and complete manifestation in your life on earth. Every infirmity, every disease, every pain, every weakness must bow to the supreme authority of the name of Jesus. I am renewing your strength like the eagles. You will mount up with wings, soaring above the weakness that has tried to keep you grounded. The weariness in your bones is being replaced right now by a supernatural vitality, a divine energy that flows from my throne. I am speaking life and wholeness into every cell, every organ, every system of your body. I command your immune system to be strengthened. I command your joints and muscles to be healed and free from pain. I command your mind to be clear and at peace, for I know the toll that physical suffering takes on your emotional well-being. I want you to be an active participant in this healing. Right now, I invite you to place your hand on the part of your body that needs my touch. As you do, I want you to receive this healing by faith. It is not your faith that heals you, but your faith is the hand that receives the healing I am freely giving. Breathe in my spirit of life. Exhale the sickness and the pain. This is your covenant right as my child. Walk in the divine health that has been purchased for you. Rise up from your bed of affliction. Your days of being defined by sickness are over. Your season of walking in divine health and wholeness has begun. My child, listen carefully. I want you to consciously forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. Your mind has been like a rearview mirror, constantly replaying past failures, hurts, and disappointments. You have defined your future by the limitations of what has been. You look at the graveyard of your old dreams and you sigh, believing that your best days are behind you. You have settled for a life of quiet survival, of just going through the motions, because the pain of past disappointment has made you afraid to hope for anything more. But I am the God of resurrection, and I have come to you today to do a new thing. A thing so new, so fresh, so full of life, that it will make the former things fade into insignificance. The dreams I placed in your heart years ago, the ones you packed away in a box and stored in the attic of your memory, the ones that now only bring a pang of sadness when you think of them. I am visiting that graveyard of dreams today. I am standing before the tomb of your buried passions, and I am calling them forth by name, just as I called forth Lazarus. I am breathing my life back into them. That dream to start a business, that dream to write a book, that dream to see your family restored, that dream to make a real difference in the world. They are not dead. They were only sleeping. My plans for you are for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. This is not a generic promise. It is a specific, detailed blueprint that I have designed for your life, and that future is far greater than you can currently ask or imagine. Your latter days will be far, far greater than your former days. The wisdom you have gained through your trials, the character that has been forged in the fire, the intimacy you have developed with me in the valley, all of these things have been preparing you for a level of fruitfulness and influence you could not have handled before. You were not ready then. You are ready now. I am setting you on a path of purpose that will satisfy the deepest longings of your soul. So I ask you to do something for me. Dare to dream again. But this time, dream bigger. Ask me to awaken new passions within you. Give me permission to expand your vision. Stop looking at your future through the small lens of your past experiences and start looking at it through the limitless lens of my power and my love for you. The page is turning. A new chapter is beginning, and it is the best one yet. And now, my child, I want you to quiet your heart and receive the single most important truth upon which everything else in your life must be built. Above the breakthrough, above the healing, above the provision, there is this one foundational reality. You are my beloved, and my gaze of infinite affection is always upon you. And never, for one single moment of your existence, are you to doubt my love for you. The world has taught you a broken, conditional kind of love. A love that is earned through performance, that is given based on appearance, and that can be withdrawn at the first sign of failure. You have worked your entire life trying to be worthy of that kind of love, and it has left you feeling insecure and exhausted. But my love is nothing like that. It is not a fragile, fleeting emotion. It is a fierce, passionate, and eternal fire. It is unconditional. It does not increase when you succeed, and it does not decrease when you fail. Nothing you have ever done or ever will do can separate you from this love. It is your very identity. You are the apple of my eye. This means you are the central focus of my affectionate gaze. When I look at you, I do not see you through the lens of your mistakes. I see you through the lens of my Son's sacrifice. I see you as righteous, holy, and blameless. My thoughts toward you are precious, and they are without number. If you could count them, they would be more than the grains of sand on every seashore on earth. And I do not just think loving thoughts about you. I rejoice over you with singing. Can you imagine that? The creator of the cosmos, singing a love song over you. That is the reality of my heart for you. My favor surrounds you like a shield. It goes before you to prepare your way, and it is your rear guard, protecting you from the attacks of the enemy. I want you to start walking with the confidence of a child who knows, without a shadow of a doubt, that they are deeply and completely loved by their Father. This knowledge changes everything. It silences the voice of the accuser. It breaks the power of insecurity. It frees you from the need for human approval. It empowers you to take risks and to dream big, knowing that even if you stumble, you will fall into my loving arms. This is who you are. You are my beloved. Let this truth sink from your head into your heart and become the unshakable foundation of your life. You have just heard the deepest truth of my heart, that you are my beloved. Everything else flows from this unshakable reality. To stop listening now would be like accepting my love but refusing the magnificent inheritance that comes with it. It would sadden me greatly if you left before I could bestow upon you the full rights and covenants that your identity as my child affords. My child, your world is filled with noise and chaos. The demands of life, the constant barrage of bad news, the internal turmoil of worry, all of it conspires to steal your peace. You have come to accept a constant state of low-grade anxiety as normal. A quiet mind feels like an unattainable luxury. The peace the world offers is fragile, a temporary ceasefire that is entirely dependent on your circumstances being calm and problem-free. The moment a storm appears on the horizon, that worldly peace is shattered. But I have a gift for you, a covenant promise that is not fragile and is not dependent on your circumstances. I give you a peace the world cannot give, and because the world did not give it, the world cannot take it away. It is a deep, supernatural, unshakable peace that is designed to anchor your soul in the midst of life's fiercest storms. This peace is my promise, a divine seal that I am placing upon your heart and your mind. Its purpose is to stand guard. Imagine a heavenly sentry, a mighty warrior angel, stationed at the gate of your thoughts and your emotions. This is my peace. It stands guard to protect you from the invasion of anxiety, fear, and turmoil. I want to introduce you to a special word for this peace, shalom. It means so much more than just the absence of conflict. It means a state of complete and total wholeness where there is nothing missing and nothing broken. This is your portion as my child. I am speaking shalom over you right now. I am speaking wholeness into your finances, nothing missing. I am speaking wholeness into your relationships, nothing broken. I am speaking wholeness into your body, nothing missing. I am speaking wholeness into your mind, nothing broken. How do you walk in this? You must let this divine tranquility rule in your heart. When the waves of worry begin to crash against you, you must make a conscious choice to turn your focus away from the storm and onto me, the Prince of Peace. You consciously cast your cares upon me because I care for you. You fill your mind with my word, for my words are spirit and life. This is how you activate my peace. It is already your inheritance, but you must choose to live in it. Let it become the ruling authority in your inner world. And no matter what rages outside, your spirit will remain calm, secure, and anchored in me. This is my covenant of peace over your life. Receive it now. My child, let us now address one of the enemy's most ancient and cruelest weapons: shame. Shame has been a tormentor in your life, a relentless voice that whispers you are disqualified because of your past. It has followed you like a shadow, making you feel unworthy of my blessings, convincing you that your worst moments are your truest identity. It has been a heavy, filthy cloak of disgrace that you have felt compelled to wear, making you want to hide your face from others and even from me. You have felt looked down upon, judged, and defined by mistakes that I have already forgiven and forgotten. But I have come to you today to declare a divine and permanent removal of this garment. For your former shame, I am giving you a double portion of honor. This is not just a restoration to your original state. It is an elevation. Where you have felt the sting of disgrace, you will now experience an abundance of dignity. I am personally removing that filthy cloak from your shoulders. Feel its weight being lifted. It is gone. In its place, I am clothing you with a royal robe of honor, woven with threads of my righteousness and sealed with my approval. Every accusing voice that has brought you low, whether from others or from your own mind, I am silencing now. The power of those words to inflict pain is being nullified. Where you were once dismissed, you will now be respected. Where you were once judged, your restored life will now bring me glory. I am restoring your reputation in the eyes of those who matter. But more importantly, I am restoring your own sense of dignity in your own eyes. You must understand the difference between guilt and shame. Guilt says, I did something wrong. My grace is sufficient to cover that. When you come to me with a repentant heart, guilt is washed away instantly. But shame says, I am something wrong. It is an attack on the very identity I gave you. It is a lie from the pit of hell, and I am exposing it today. You are not your mistake. You are not your failure. You are my cherished child, fearfully and wonderfully made, redeemed and righteous in my sight. So I command you to hold your head high, not in arrogance or pride, but in the quiet, unshakable confidence of who you are in me. When the enemy tries to bring up your past, you will remind him of your future. Your season of disgrace is over. Your era of walking in a double portion of my honor has begun. My child, as you prepare to step across the threshold into this new season, you must know that you are not going in the same strength that you had before. The old ways of striving, of relying on your own limited wisdom and energy, are over. That strength carried you this far, but it cannot take you where I am leading you next. For this new chapter, you will need a new level of power, a new measure of wisdom, and a new dimension of my presence. Therefore, listen with your spirit. I am pouring fresh oil upon your head. This is a fresh anointing, a divine empowerment for the new assignment I have for your life. This is not just a feeling. It is a tangible impartation of my spirit. It is consecrating you, setting you apart for a higher level of service and influence than you have ever known. This anointing will equip you with everything you need for the journey ahead. It will give you new strength. The weariness that has plagued you is being replaced with a divine endurance. You will be able to face challenges that would have crushed you before, not because the challenges are smaller, but because my power within you is greater. This anointing will also bring you wisdom. You will face decisions and complexities that are beyond your natural understanding. But I will give you divine insight. You will have clarity where there was once confusion. I will give you creative solutions and strategies that can only come from heaven. And this anointing will release new authority. You will walk in a power that is not your own, but mine. Your prayers will carry greater weight. When you speak my word, spiritual atmospheres will shift. The gifts I have placed within you, which may have been dormant or operating at a low capacity, are now being activated and amplified. This anointing is purposeful. It will break every yoke of bondage off of your life and off of the lives of those you are called to touch. It will open doors of opportunity that no man can shut. You are being consecrated for a greater purpose. You may feel ordinary, but the anointing I am placing upon you is extraordinary. It qualifies you. It empowers you. It sets you apart. Receive this fresh oil. Let it soak into every dry place in your soul. A new assignment is before you, and you are now fully equipped to fulfill it. My beloved, I must speak to the deep and painful wound of feeling forsaken. There has been a long and lonely season where you have felt hidden, overlooked, and forgotten. You have prayed prayers that seemed to go unanswered. You have watched as others received promotions and opportunities while you remained in the background. In the silence, you have cried out, God, where are you? Have you forgotten the promises you made to me? Your heart has ached with the fear that you were being punished, that you had somehow missed your calling, that your life was permanently on hold. Now, I want you to hear the truth from me, the one who never leaves nor forsakes you. Your season of isolation was not abandonment. It was divine preparation. You have not been forsaken. You have been strategically repositioned. You felt hidden, but you were being incubated for greatness. Just as a caterpillar must enter the hiddenness of the chrysalis to undergo its transformation, I had to bring you into a season of quiet and solitude to do a deep work within you. In that hidden place, I protected you from pressures you were not yet ready to handle. I taught you to rely on my voice alone, separating you from your dependence on the approval of others. I forged a character in you that could only be developed away from the spotlight. That season is now ending. I am drawing back the veil of hiddenness. I am now moving you from the background to the forefront of my plans. Think of it as a divine chess match. The enemy thought he had you cornered, isolated on an insignificant square. But all along, I was using that quiet position to prepare you for your most significant move. I am now repositioning you. I am shifting you from the tail to the head. I am moving you from a place of obscurity to a place of influence. This new placement is not for your own glory, but for mine. It will give you the platform and the influence you need to fulfill the assignment I have for you. The relationships, the resources, and the opportunities you need will now find you in this new position. Every moment of your wilderness season had a purpose. Not a single tear was wasted. It was all part of the process of repositioning you for a destiny far greater than the one you left behind. So lift up your head. Your time of being hidden is over. Your time of being revealed has come. And so, my child, our conversation has brought us to this sacred moment, this divine threshold. We have walked back through your pain and healed the memories. We have silenced the accuser and removed the cloak of shame. We have broken the chains, announced the breakthrough, and released a fresh anointing. The declarations have been made in heaven, and they have been echoed in your heart. The waiting is over. The season of sorrow has officially expired. A time for fulfillment has come. Now, there is only one thing left for you to do. Go forth. You must now act on these truths. You must step out of the past and into the new reality I have created for you. Step into this new season not with hesitation or fear, but with the boldness of a child who knows their father owns everything. Step forward with a joyful and expectant heart. Your redemption story is no longer a future hope. It is now unfolding for all to see. Let your smile be the first evidence of your victory. Let it be a beacon of my goodness, a testament to my power that requires no words. When people see the genuine joy on your face, they will know that the God you serve is real. I want you to understand that this is not just a momentary reprieve from your struggles. This is not a short break in the storm after which the winds will return. This is a permanent shift in your spiritual climate. This is a new beginning, a new chapter, a new life. Your redemption is here. Therefore, go forth and live like it. Live like someone who had been set free. Live like someone who has been healed. Live like someone who is deeply and unconditionally loved. Live like someone whose future is bright and whose God is faithful. Walk with your head held high, clothed in the dignity I have restored to you. Speak with words of faith, building up others and declaring my goodness. Serve with a new passion, empowered by the fresh anointing I have given you. Love with an open heart, healed from the wounds of the past. Your life is now a showcase of my redemptive power. It is a story that I will tell for generations. And it all begins today, with your next step. Go forth, my beloved. Go forth and smile. Your silent tears are ending. I, your God, have spoken it. It is done. You have heard my final decree. Your redemption is here, and you are to go forth. This, my child, is your very first opportunity to do so. If your heart is now crying out, "Yes, Lord, use me to bring this same freedom to others," then understand that your giving is your yes made tangible. Your support opens the floodgates for this river of my presence to flow into the driest deserts of human despair, bringing the manna of hope to those who are starving for it. Do not delay, for another soul is weeping tonight, and I am sending this message as their answer, through you. I declare over your life, give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over, will be poured into your lap. For every life your gift reaches, I will post an angel to guard a territory of your own life. Obey the stirring in your spirit. Give now through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link below, and release my word to a world in need. My child, do not let this word fall to the ground. This moment is a divine appointment. I have spoken this decree over you, and now I invite you to seal it in the earth as a prophetic act. Go to the comments and make your declaration of faith before all of heaven. Write with unshakable boldness, "My silent tears are ending, and I will smile again." Let this be your first act of victory, a powerful signal that you receive everything I have released to you. Watch as I honor the faith you now display. Amen. If you believe in me, your Heavenly Father, then like this video and leave a heartfelt amen in the comments. If you want to stay closer to me, then subscribe to this channel.